But if the true sickos and perverts should know it, this is not the best way for this to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted it to be more perverse?
More.
No, I mean the true sickos.
Yeah, you wanted it to be really, sick. You speak for the sickos and perverts.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
You are number one
like
sicko and pervert.
We needed you higher before you got this low.
Right, because I only got Jaguars 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was the peak. Hang the banner. Beat a terrible Jaguars team to go 4-2. On today's part of my take, Week 9 in the NFL, we're going to talk every single game from Sunday. We're going to do fastest 2 minutes. We've got some weird stuff going on in Philly that we got to get to. Who's back of the week? And it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place your bet. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers. Get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Monday, November 4th, Week 9. What?
Tick.
Not gonna get him.
Some spread. Happy No Nut November.
We start in Atlanta, where the Falcons had a tough time defending against RICO charges as Dowdle scored a touchdown. Meanwhile, young thug Kirk Cousins looked like prime Jimmy Garoppolo, throwing for 3 touchdowns. The Cowboys were forced to call on their backup quarterback as Prescott hurt his hammy, but it was too little too late as Cooper Rush did his best to be a modern-day warrior with a mean stride, but fell short, leaving his fat coach to smash a tablet after the menu wouldn't load. Falcons 27, Cowboys 21.
Whip! We go up to the Meadowlands, where Dan, all I do is Quinn, no matter what, had Washington rolling. And the team was looking animated as, "Hi, I'm Troy McLaurin. You may remember me from such films as the 1-yard touchdown reception and the 10-yard touchdown reception. Not even a day ball of coke can save Wall Street, as another Black Monday is imminent after Daniel Dow Jones continues to crash. The Commanders 27, the G-Men 22.
Over to Western New York, where Amari Alex Cooper was ruled out pregame, but the Bills still had enough for the Dolphins to call Josh Allen daddy. The Bills started slow in the first half, but found a groove when Ray Charles Davis made the Dolphins secondary look blind on a way to a 63-yard score. The game came down to the wire, but Tyler, what you gonna do with all that base? All that base on special teams. Hit a 61-yarder, and no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Bills 30, Dolphins 27.
We go down to Baltimore, where the Ravens said, "Let's get recorded. Let's get recorded in here. Hey, as Patrick scored a touchdown to boat race the Broncos. Tractorcito ran for 100 big TDOs. The Ravens sit at 6-3-0. R.I.P. the bridge, Francis Scacchio. He shoves it down Sean Payton's pee hole. Tractorcito Ravens 41, the Broncos 10.
We head on to Philadelphia, where Max was on the scene.
Saquon Barkley was rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling, and then he hit him with an all-time 180 whoop over the head of the Jags defender. Finally, Jahan Ferguson reminded Eagles fans that he's on the roster after he had one of the biggest catches of the game. Zach Bon Voyage was all over the field and looked like he was going to easily bid adieu to the Jags offense. But after a roaring comeback, it was Nakobe Jimmy Dean who risked it to get the biscuit and came down with a game-sealing interception. Eagles 28, Jags 23.
Thanks, Max. Over to Nashville with the boy, Henry Lockwood.
Down to Nash Vegas. Mason Rudolph, the backup QB, backed up and threw a 9-yard pass, which was complete to Nick Vanette for a touchdown. Pats fans were thrilled their rookie QB was back from a concussion protocol and said, "We love the Drake," after a second quarter touchdown. The teams traded field goals before Nick Russell Westbrook, a quinoa salad, momentarily gave the Titans a 7-point lead, and an overtime interception sealed the loss for the Patriots, and they were heard saying, "Actually, we hate the Drake, but at least he isn't the Caleb." Titans win 20-17.
That was hurtful, Henry. In Carolina, so what? We lose games. So what? We suck ass. We're just having fun, and we don't care who sees. So what? Our owner's a dick. That's how it's supposed to be. We're living Bryce Young and wild and free. Derek Carmela Soprano was playing with a newfound furio after calling himself a psychopath this week, but it was too little too late as the Panthers practice anti-Dennis Allen discrimination, further cementing him as the worst coach of all time. The Panthers win a football game. What? Huh?
The Panthers?
Panthers win a football game. Panthers 23, Saints 22.
We go to the frozen tundra of Green Bay, where Jameer on the wall, who's the fairest of them all, as the Lions came into the frozen tundra wearing their snow white uniforms, making Packers fans look sleepy, grumpy, and dopey. Kentucky Kirby Joseph got on his horse and galloped home for a pick six to end the half, while Brian Branch Davidians took on the Green Bay TF and got lost, getting kicked out. But it didn't end up mattering as the Lions answered the Campbell yet again on the way to an easy win. The Lions 24, the Packers 14.
Standing on a corner, Jameis Winston, Cuyahoga, such a fine sight to see. It's a pick, my lord, another pick, my lord, add another, that makes three. J.K. Dobbins played sick, the Browns are basic. Jameis thought his coach was whack till he got LASIK. The Chargers 27, Browns 10. And that was the fastest 2 minutes for week 9, brought to you by our friends at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done a Mount Rushmore pickup trucks, and that's because, for pardon my take, there's only one pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. Why is that? Silverado's a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using Silverados for all kinds of, pardon my take, jobs, adventures, and other shenanigans. Silverado has been our ride for a cross-country trip to the Super Bowl. Silverado helped us dig the biggest hole ever in the state of Ohio last year at Grit Week. Silverado helped us give fullbacks the recognition they deserve with the Low Man Award, and this year Silverado was out west with us for our latest Grit Week. Silverado brings the grit to legendary grit, paired with modern truck tech, inside and out, massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold, blacked out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss. So head on over to Chevy.com, build your own Chevy Silverado or Silverado HD, and check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability, all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. All right, week 9 in the books. We're finishing up Vikings-Colts, Sunday Night Football. There was a second there where I thought Sam Darnold was turning back into a pumpkin, but he seems to have righted the ship for momentarily. So we'll update this at the end. But were you getting nervous too?
A little bit. He looked a little bit spooked.
He looked a little pumpkin-y.
He was spooked. It was like seeing ghosts again for a moment. He also did get hit in the face on another sack.
They don't the NFL doesn't like his face.
I think it's that he's got such a large head.
Yeah.
That they're like, it's almost like you're asking, well, what was he wearing? Did he want to get hit in the face?
Yeah, it's free reign on Sam Darnold's helmet at all times.
Was he asking for it?
Back-to-back weeks. But yeah, we will update that game after we finish everything else. Let's hop into week 9. So last week we had an incredible witching hour, insane games. This week it didn't feel like there were a ton of drama.
Was Hank right?
Hank might have been right.
Was Hank right about the games this weekend?
Although
they were games.
Didn't he? Which game did he specifically? Oh, he didn't like the Falcons Cowboys. That was a fun game still. But
was it?
Yeah, it was still fun to watch Kirk Cousins go crazy. He was going crazy.
We had like 2 decent games today.
Yeah, it wasn't the best Sunday, but that's okay because we love every Sunday. We hold it and cherish it and love it and kiss it and smooch it and have it sit on our lap and fondle it.
Yeah, take showers with it.
Yeah, cuddle it. Mm-hmm. Little spoon. I'd like to make Sunday my little spoon every single Sunday. All right, let's hop in the games. Bills 30, Dolphins 27. This was probably the closest, best game early. Josh Allen and Sean McDermott and the Buffalo Bills continue to be the Miami Dolphins' daddy. Sean McDermott's now 15-2 against the Dolphins. And this was the Bills' kind of MO this year where they start slow. They've actually been trailing in 5 games at halftime this year. They started slow, and then they woke up in the second half with a fumble that kind of changed the game when they punched out the ball of Mostert, and then Ray Davis's long touchdown, and Josh had 156 yards and 3 touchdowns in the second half. And they held off a frisky Dolphins team.
Yeah, the Dolphins looked alive today. Josh had an incredible touchdown pass. That's when it was, okay, he's your daddy.
Right.
He is father. And he's going to score whether you like it or not. There's nothing you can do about it. He was falling over, getting hit by like 2 guys, and then just lobs a nice, easy, soft, catchable ball into the end zone. Anybody, like most other quarterbacks, if they get hit like that, they might fumble. They might hit the ground and hurt their shoulder. Josh is just like, okay, I'm just going to push the buttons, and this is easy for me because I believe I can beat the Dolphins because I've done it a million times in the past.
Yeah, 15-2. That's pretty crazy. That's ownership at a different level. The Dolphins, they're frisky. I'm going to stick with the Dolphins being frisky. They don't know how to close games. I think they've lost their last 3 games by a total of 10 points. Mm-hmm. Their offense looks like it's somewhat back. Tua looks okay. They just don't know how to close games. They score to tie the game, and you're like, oh man, the Dolphins are going to maybe be able to pull this out. And then they had the back-to-back. It was the Chop Robinson penalty, and then the Jordan Poyer penalty, and then Sean McDermott deserves credit for this because Tyler Bass has not been great.
Tyler Ass.
Tyler Ass. He missed an extra point today. He doinked one. I think he missed a couple extra points last week or the week before. He has had maybe the yips, whatever you want to call it. And Sean McDermott was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking trust him with a 61-yarder, which if he misses that kick, the Dolphins, I believe, had 1, maybe 2 timeouts. I think they had 2 because I think they used 1 to ice him. The Dolphins can basically turn around, get 20 yards, and try to kick a game winner themselves.
Yeah.
That was a pretty risky thing to do. So Sean McDermott gets credit for trusting his kicker, which I don't know if I would have trusted my kicker in that spot.
That's awesome because we will give him credit for trusting his kicker. If he had missed that field goal, we'd be like, Sean McDermott, you belong in prison for that. I think the guy missed an extra point. Why are you going to send him out there for a 61-yarder?
I think as he was lining up, I was like, this is psycho because it really was. Like when you have a 61-yarder, you're just looking at the field and you're like, if he misses this, the Dolphins need a first down to try their own 61-yarder.
And people always say, like, if your coach doesn't get something, and you're like, well, if it would have worked, we would have been praising him for making the right call. We need to do more of the opposite.
Yeah.
Where we talk just about how bad of a decision it was because it didn't work out the way that we thought that it was going to happen.
Yeah, but hey, listen.
But it was a 61-yarder, and it probably would have been good from 70.
Yeah.
He hit the dick off that ball. It was very, very impressive.
And now you get a kicker who might have some confidence back, which is also like as a nice free agent acquisition. Tyler Bass gets the game ball. The Bills are absolutely rolling. And even in a game where it's like it did feel for a little bit watching that game because they were sleepwalking the first half. They They had one good drive that Keon Coleman, the ball goes off his hands and picked in the red zone. And you're like, are the Bills going to lose this game? No. The Bills are not going to lose this game. And the Bills are 7-2, and the second best team in the AFC East is 3-6. That's pretty crazy that they have it wrapped up this early.
Congratulations to the New York Jets, who are in second place in the AFC East.
That's huge.
That's huge. That's a big game for memes.
That's enormous.
So, back.
Almost back.
Second place is pretty good.
There also should be, I don't want to be the one to start the conversation, but other people have started the conversation. Josh Allen should definitely be in the MVP conversation.
Oh, he is in the conversation.
Yeah. But he should be very much in it.
I think if you look at the odds, it's like Lamar 250 and then Josh is like 280.
And Lamar probably should win it again because he's been insane.
But so is Josh.
Yeah.
Josh has been really good too. The Dolphins, I would say there are so many teams that have 2 wins right now. I think there are 9 NFL teams that have 2 wins, which doesn't seem mathematically possible, does it?
No.
To have 9 teams with 2 wins. Some of them are 2-7, some are 2-6. But there are 9 teams that have 2 wins. I think the Dolphins are by far the best 2-win team in the NFL.
The Dolphins, the best
That's
2-win
worse,
team.
To be the best 2-win team?
Yeah.
You think that's bad? You'd rather be the worst 2-win team?
PFT.
Definitely.
The Titans beat them.
Yeah, but that was a different team.
True. Titans, I can't quit the Titans. And Jameis?
Yeah, the Browns are also a different team. I would say the Browns and the Dolphins if we're playing the 2-win Super Bowl.
I think it would be Dolphins 1 seed.
They get a bye.
Browns. No, it's a Final Four.
Okay, got it.
So it's Dolphins 1 seed, Browns 2 seed, Titans 3 seed. So it's Browns Titans in the first round, and I think it's the Jaguars in the 4 seed.
Okay,
So Dolphins versus Jaguars, Browns versus Titans.
Okay. I think the Dolphins win that game now.
I think the Dolphins beat the Jaguars. Yeah, I think I have the Browns versus the Dolphins in the championship game for the 2-win teams.
For the best 2-win team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then
make this a tournament.
That might be a pick 'em.
Put it on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Give it to us instead of election coverage.
Kill
we
the
have action.
Kill the 2-man.
Yeah. I would watch this.
The Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. And then just missing the Super Bowl, I would say, is the Giants. They were the first one out.
Yeah.
They were the one that Lenardi's like, hey, look, they don't have enough on their resume.
Well, the Patriots played like 5 games without Drake May. I feel like you're not getting enough credit.
Different team. Well, they also
higher
lost
quality 2-win team.
You lost to the
You
Titans.
just lost
today.
to a 2-win Titans team.
You gave the Titans. You gave the Titans entry into the 2-win club. If you didn't want them in there, you should have kept them out.
Who was your other win? You beat the Dolphins, right? No.
Jets. They beat the Jets.
I know they beat the Jets, but did they beat
Week 1, they beat the Bengals.
Oh yeah, so you lost the Dolphins. So if we're looking at it, if we're doing the Lenardi bracketology,
I think the Giants
you can make the argument that the Giants did beat the Browns.
I think the Giants have the best strength of schedule.
The Giants do have a tough strength
I
schedule.
think if you look at the win percentage, I think the Giants of all the 2-win teams, it's like they're number 1.
They played a gauntlet.
Yeah, that's what you get for making your schedule. You try to play competitive games, and Lenardi doesn't give you that respect.
They're like the 2014, I want to say, Arkansas Razorbacks when Brett Bielema, they won 6 games, but they were maybe the best 6-win team out there.
Yeah.
Because they were playing everyone in the SEC and just playing everyone to a 13-12 loss.
Yeah, but to the Dolphins' point, I think that they hung in this game. They could have very easily won this game.
The Dolphins are frisky. I think they'll be their official spoiler. I don't know if they're going to sell. They probably should sell. What does Jalen Waddle do?
He showed up out of nowhere in the second half of this game.
Yeah, and then he had to minus what did he?
Yeah, so here's what happened on the last play, because right when this happened,
that was so funny.
I turned to Jerry and I go, "Oh my God, what was Tua's passing yards over under for today?" His prop was 243.5 yards. That was the over under.
Yeah.
He had 254 yards with 5 seconds left in the game. He passed to Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle ran backwards.
Yeah.
It got pitched to Jaden Waddle. He did not pass.
Jalen Waddle, yeah.
But he threw a complete pass down the field, and then it got pitched to Jalen Waddle, who ran backwards
for 16.
minus 24 yards.
So Jalen Waddle finished his stats today was 2 catches, minus 4 yards, 1 touchdown.
Pretty crazy. That doesn't seem physically possible.
No, that doesn't.
That's how it happened, and so Tua's over-under did not hit because of Waddle running backwards.
Yeah, I feel like the Dolphins should. It's a wasted season. You're not going into the playoffs. You have some talented guys in the roster. Maybe the Chiefs don't want another wide receiver now, but they still could use one, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what?
I don't know. I think they said they're not done.
If I were a 2-7 GM, I would just be trying to get as many draft picks as possible.
Yeah, and this is what I don't know about Waddle because he's been MIA in a lot of games. I don't know if he has lost a step or if they're just not targeting him at all.
No Tua hurt.
Tua was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if Waddle is. He's still got the elite touchdown celebration.
Yeah. Yeah. He had the week 1. He had a huge monster game, and then since then everything's been under 50 yards. And he's averaging he gets 4 catches a game. So he's not totally invisible, but I'd start trading everyone.
And even the announcers are going through the same things that you're going through at home when you're watching the Dolphins play. When Tua took off to scramble for that first down, who was the play-by-play guy?
Kevin Harlan.
That was Kevin Harlan. Yeah,
yes.
Kevin Harlan. I think he said "Oh no," during the middle of the play because Tua's running with the ball. They're feeling the same emotions that you are watching him run, just bad things might happen on this play, but he looked good today.
I had a moment. Yeah, I mean, the Dolphins are frisky, and they will play spoiler, and they will probably win a game that they're not supposed to win late in the season, and fuck someone else's schedule up. I'm trying to look right now. Ooh, maybe at Green Bay. That could fuck some. That's cold. This is gonna be cold. Never mind.
Yeah,
maybe the Jets or the Texans. That's a game they could win and just fuck everyone's schedule up. But yeah, the Bills are rolling. The Bills are right now. It feels like the AFC is just a lot of trash are figuring it out, and then the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs.
I like that there's a nice understood order of operations at the top of the AFC though.
Yeah,
because you got the Chiefs obviously number 1 because guess what, they beat the Ravens. Ravens obviously at number 2 because guess what, they beat the Bills. Mm-hmm. So there's not a whole lot of debate that you can have. I think that the Bills and the Ravens are both really, really good teams. And I think either team could beat the Chiefs. But I think that the Ravens obviously have the Bills' number for some reason.
There's one person that's going to get very mad at us for this conversation. The Steelers are technically at the top of the AFC North.
I think the Steelers
are very good.
I put a future on them.
They should be in there.
Last Monday to win the Super Bowl.
But yeah, the AFC, the Bills, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. If you gave me, well, I mean, it would be a dumb bet, but if you're one of those 3 teams to the Super Bowl, yeah, I'd sign me up. That's going to happen, it feels like. Okay, next game, the game that Hank shat all over, the Falcons 27, the Cowboys 21. Hank, I know that you weren't excited about this game, but this game gave us many different things to take away. One, Bijan is awesome. 150 yards from the line of scrimmage. Or 145 yards. He was awesome. 2.
Is that new information?
No, but it's nice to see every game that Bijan goes off. It's nice to see because we spent all last year being when is Bijan going to go off? And now it's he's arrived and he's so fucking shifty and so awesome and elusive. When he gets in space, you just know that he's going to make a guy miss.
I think what Big Cat's saying is it's really good for all the mock draft people out there.
It's just
this guy's different.
I'm a Bijan guy. I like him. I'm a fan of him, and I like to see him do well. And so every time he does well, I'm like, yes, that confirms that I am it's okay to be excited about a guy who last year felt like he was not being used properly.
Yeah.
2, we got Dak saying on the sideline, "We fucking suck." That was pretty funny.
Yep.
3, Mike McCarthy smashing the tablet. That was very funny.
Did the tablet say something about his brother?
I don't know. Might have.
Called him a slur?
Yeah. Or maybe wrote an article about him. We got a lot of Philly things to talk about later.
Fellas, is it gay to date a pop star?
Apparently,
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
outside of a Penn State game, yeah. 3, 4. Pam Oliver got a jersey from Stephen and Jerry Jones. I don't know why.
It's journalism, baby.
I still don't know why. I was trying to figure out why. They stopped. I don't think they stopped the game, but they in the broadcast they showed Pam Oliver getting a jersey. Were they trying to sign her?
I don't know if they're trying to sign her. I don't know if they could afford her right now. But I do think that for whatever reason, this is a move that you do when you're trying to get somebody to retire.
Yeah.
Think about it. If they're still working,
they're pushing her out the door.
You're having a retirement party for her. I don't think that has she said anything about retiring?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Max Memes, can you look that up?
And why did they is it just because she does Fox and Fox does the
doing
Cowboys?
She's been doing it for a while.
Yeah. I couldn't figure it out. That was very weird, but that was kind of cool, Hank. 5. I don't know what number I'm on. Rico Dowdle's touchdown was sick.
Yeah, it was.
That was a sick touchdown. Yeah, I looked for the same stuff and I couldn't figure out. They gave her a jersey.
Either Jerry knows something about her retiring, or this is Jerry being like, "Look, we need to get her off the sidelines for some reason." I bet you Pam Oliver has a lot of dirt on the Cowboys organization.
This could also be Jerry taking a shot at those guys he yelled at on the radio, being like, "See, if you're a journalist, this is how we treat you."
I respect you.
Yeah,
I won't hit you with a CD's nuts joke.
Yeah. Yeah, this game was I enjoyed watching this game. It had a lot.
I'll give you another thing that we can take away from this game, something fun.
Yeah.
The Falcons reminded us that you cannot commit pass interference on a fake punt.
Oh.
So the Cowboys tried a very sad fake punt.
Yes.
And threw it towards their gunner, who got thrown down to the ground. The ball probably should have been picked off in return for 6, but it wasn't. But it was a nice reminder that if it's the last guy closest to the sideline and they run a fake punt, you can do whatever you want to them.
Yeah.
It's all legal.
Yeah, it was the sad fake punt, and then it was also the 4th down end around with CeeDee Lamb that lost like 15 yards. The Cowboys are ass. They are complete ass. That's also fun, Hank, watching the Cowboys be ass. The Falcons are good. This was a good win for the Falcons. Kirk Cousins, I think if you looked at his stats this year, he was like the greatest quarterback of all time against the Bucs, and then like average to below average against everyone else. So it was good that he beefed up his resume against someone not named the Bucs.
Yeah, well, this is it's the highest back-to-back quarterback rating for any quarterback ever in Falcons history.
Wow.
What Kirk has done the last 2 weeks.
I think the Falcons are good. They still got to figure out their pass rush situation. They did get 3 sacks
shocking.
today. Yeah, it is shocking.
An MVP quarterback.
Is he in this? Are we having the conversation?
No, I'm saying like that's better than Matt Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Ryan did win an MVP. That's true. I was thinking for a second, I was like, Michael Vick didn't win an MVP.
This is actually
should have.
We should have talked about this on Friday. This is the matchup of Kirk Cousins versus the Black Kirk Cousins.
Yeah,
Remember when Amari Cooper called Dak Prescott
Yeah.
that? Was Amari Cooper actually giving Dak Prescott the best compliment he's ever received in his life?
I think so.
Because that would be an honor.
Because I'd take Kirk Cousins over Dak every day of the week.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Cowboys are bad. I have a question. So, good win for the Falcons. I actually do think the Falcons are good. I'm worried about the Drake London injury because he came out of the game after scoring a touchdown. He's very important. And again, their defense has to round into form a little bit more. The Cowboys ran the ball the Cowboys don't run the ball, and they ran the ball very well. Zeke is just, I don't even know what's happening. He just doesn't go to meetings anymore, and then they're like, yeah, don't come to this game.
Disciplinary reasons? I don't know. But
Zeke is treating the NFL like he's a kid on like a youth soccer team. He's like, I can't make it to the game tonight because my sister has a violin recital.
Yeah, I don't know, but it had to be something bad for Jerry to be like, Zeke, you're not allowed to travel with the team.
Right.
Because I think Jerry, he loves getting the miles. I think they go straight to like his personal credit account when people fly on airplanes. I think that he loves Zeke too.
He does, but the story I read, Zeke has just been late to a bunch of meetings. Like multiple meetings.
Which is shocking considering how fast he drives.
That's true. My question, though, is this. And this is no discredit to the Falcons. Because, again, I do think the Falcons are good. I said that 4 weeks ago when I was like, I'd take them in the NFC South over the Bucs. That was obviously the Bucs have a lot of injuries. At what point are the Cowboys no longer a good win?
I think they're always going to be a good win because they're always going to be a satisfying win.
They're a satisfying win, but at what point is it like, oh, they beat the Cowboys, that's a really good, the Cowboys are not good.
Yeah, well, let's ask Max, you play the Cowboys next week, right?
I think rivalry games are different.
Yeah. Rivalry games are different, for sure. It doesn't matter when you throw out the record books, but you get what I'm saying. The Cowboys are not good. They're not a good football team.
No, they're
not. But we're in our head because they've been, under Mike McCarthy, yes, they have not had playoff success, but they've been a very good regular season team under Mike McCarthy. So in your head, you see the Cowboys on the schedule and you're like, oh, that's a big game. They're a good team. They're not. They're a bad team. They have a lot of holes. They, building the entire offense out of just CeeDee Lamb does not make any sense. Micah Parsons has been out for a while. I actually think they should trade Micah Parsons. They never will. But that would be the smart move for Jerry Jones. So if you're if you signed Dak Prescott to a big deal and you're like, he's the quarterback, you need some draft picks. You need to start like getting depth around him and not just be like, hey, we'll pay 4 really, really good players and hope everything else works out.
So did you see what Micah Parsons said about this game? He said, game of the year for them, game of the week for us. So they're still talking about the Cowboys being everybody's Super Bowl.
That's my point.
I don't think that they are everybody's Super Bowl, though.
No, they're just bad.
It's just fun to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, right. It's very fun to beat the Cowboys, but they're not a good football team. So, I mean, they're just they're not. I don't know. They're not a playoff team.
No,
they're not going to win. I'm looking now at their schedule. I think they're probably going to maybe win 7 or 8 games.
And Dak, his hamstring is fucked up. And his throwing hand's fucked up, too.
Hands fucked up.
They kept zooming in on his hand. It was swollen. It looked like he got stung by bees on the sidelines. He's all fucked up.
Yeah, and Cooper Rush, credit to Cooper Rush. I like a backup quarterback that I know exactly like what he's going to provide. And what Cooper Rush provides is he's going to throw the ball as hard as he possibly can to a receiver that has a defender draped all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time, it's like a 9-yard pass rifled in there, while there's a cornerback literally on top of his wide receiver.
Yeah, like an uncatchable ball.
Yeah.
But uncatchable maybe for either team.
Yeah.
So he knows where his receivers are going to be. Doesn't really have the knack of reading defensive coverages to throw it to an open one. But he you know what? He gets rid of the ball on time.
He does.
On schedule.
He does. Well, maybe a little late. Well, yeah, maybe a little late.
Relatively on schedule.
Yeah, relatively.
Dak did have a sick touchdown pass today, though.
Yeah, he did.
A little bit lucky on the catch by Rico. It was a great catch. But,
yeah, that was a great catch.
Dak bought a shitload of time scrambling around. And so sometimes when plays break down like that, he's liable to make either the sickest play ever or the most boneheaded play ever at the end of that play. And we got the sick one today.
And they were so bad on 3rd and 4th down. I think they were 3 for 16, the Cowboys. That was
bad.
it. Like, every time they got on 3rd down, they just sucked.
When you said that Drake London was injured after the touchdown, did he get injured? Did he do the bowling pin celebration, the headstand?
He left the game, I think, after the next series, so I don't know what his injury was.
Because that headstand was sick.
The headstand, it's a great
him
and Amon-Ra.
Him and Amon-Ra, and what college was that? That was like some
Incarnate Word.
That guy did it. It's an awesome touchdown celebration.
Have you ever seen the videos of? It reminds me of the videos of Mike Tyson, his old training that he would do for his neck.
Yeah,
he would do neck bridges. So it was basically like a plank on his neck. He would be in plank position, but it would be his neck, not his hands or his elbows. He would do that for like 30 minutes a day.
It's a great exercise.
And his neck would just get so fucking strong because I see those celebrations and all I can think about is you're going to get hurt. You're going to get paralyzed.
It's going to break your neck.
Yeah.
The Chargers could probably do that with their strength coach.
Yeah. Ben Herbert.
He's probably just going to work that neck out.
Well, I saw they did a pregame thing on the balcony where we interviewed Khalil Mack, and it was J.J. Watt interviewing Bosa, Khalil Mack, Ben Herbert, and Harbaugh. And I just was sitting there being like, damn, those are all our guys. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, like that was fun just seeing Ben Herbert.
That's a lot of testosterone on that
Coach
balcony.
Herbert, yeah. So wait, Drake London, I'm reading right now. Right hip, hope just a contusion. That's from Twitter doctor Jeff Mueller.
Okay.
I trust him.
We're hoping for a bruise.
Yeah. My understanding, and this is from James Palmer, my understanding is Falcons, Drake London is dealing with a hip pointer and an oblique strain. It doesn't appear to be a serious concern. I don't think you can get it. I think that's one of those things, oblique strains, like that's why you shouldn't try to get abs because you can't, I could never get an oblique strain.
Yeah, you can't pull fat.
Right.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen to me. Okay. Next game. Hank, was that enough fun things to talk about?
Yeah, I think I was right, but that's
no. I don't think you were right.
We
did you hear about Pam Oliver?
I saw, yeah.
30 seasons. Is this the 30th season?
Yes.
So everyone's doing it.
This is just from earlier in the year from the Niners.
I'm not dead yet, but I'm having a great time. I appreciate you guys. So they are trying to get her
that's what
retired. That's crazy. We love Pam Oliver. Okay. Ravens 41, Broncos 10. The not ready for prime time Denver Broncos, who I still are, they're not a bad team, but we talked about this on Friday, a big step up in class, and they failed the test.
Yeah, the Ravens are light years better than Broncos right now. I could see the Broncos making the playoffs. That could happen. But they're probably going to – no, it could. If you look at where they are right now, They're probably.
Well, I'm making that face because
They're
I
probably
think
gonna
the
lose-
only team. I think the team they'd have to beat out is our Chargers.
Okay, gotcha.
So I don't want that.
They're probably going to lose their next 2 games, I think. But the Broncos, I think their defense is good enough to keep them in it and in the conversation.
It wasn't today.
It was not today.
Lamar, I mean,
They
the
got-
Ravens, you can't. The Ravens and the Lions are the 2 teams right now going in the NFL where I don't know what you do on defense because it seems like there's no answer. Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson will just run around and Zay Flowers will be wide open. And that will happen 4 or 5 times a game, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Lamar Jackson will throw it perfectly to him. He was throwing dimes. Lamar Jackson was 16 for 19 for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. He didn't even have to run today. I think he has like one of his worst running games. And then you just throw in Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, had his 100th touchdown rushing. So he's the 10th player all time to do that. And he also reached 1,000 yards. We're on 2,000-yard watch.
Wait, he got 1,000 yards rushing?
Today. He
No
has
shit.
1,052 yards on the season. We are officially on 2,000-yard watch for Derrick Henry.
I hope he gets
we
it.
are. Have the Ravens have the Ravens had a bye yet? They have not had a bye. So they're exactly they played a little bit more than half of his schedule, 9 games. We're on it.
I hope he gets there.
I hope he gets there too. It's crazy.
But yeah, Zay Flowers is always open about 30 yards downfield, and he always catches the ball facing the line of scrimmage, and then he like fakes one way and then turns around and runs to the corner for an additional 13 yards.
Yeah.
And they do that 5 times a game.
Yeah.
And it's unstoppable, especially when you have Derrick Henry coming downhill at you. And yeah, Lamar Jackson he throws with so much touch now. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's having an MVP season again. He's been awesome. The Ravens cannot be stopped. The Ravens defense would be the big concern because they still do let up big chunk plays, and it feels like Bo Nix. I feel like Bo Nix had a decent amount of time today, and he missed a few passes. He did have that great touchdown catch, but it was just the Broncos have been feasting on some not great teams, and then they had to play a really, really good team, and they got punched in the mouth, and maybe they'll learn some lessons from it.
Yeah, watching Lamar play is like the opposite of watching Bo Nix play. Because
Yeah.
Bo Nix, he every time he throws a pass, he's just like, I'm going to throw this ball as hard as I can.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who I'm throwing it to. Could be a dump off, could be a screen. I'm just going to wing it.
yeah.
But he's still fun.
And when Bo runs, you're like he's about to get crushed or throw a pick, and when Lamar runs, you're like no one's going to touch him.
Yeah, with Bo, sometimes I have the fear that he's already past the line of scrimmage, like 8 yards, and I'm like, he's probably going to throw another interception.
He's
right
going
now.
to try to throw it.
Yeah.
The also Lamar, that was his 4th perfect passer rating in his career, and that's tied for the most all time since 1950 with Ben Roethlisberger. Now I don't know what passer rating actually means, but still, when you get a perfect anything, you got to say hat tip.
I know when I see 158.3, that means really fucking
That
good.
means he was really, really fucking good today.
Yeah.
So the Broncos, the Broncos have, I think, the Chiefs next. So it's like a little. They're gonna have to buck up here. They have the Chiefs and the Falcons coming up after feeling pretty good at 5-3, and that Chiefs game will be very interesting because will it be like. Yeah, they aren't that guy, pal. That's what I wrote down for the Broncos. They aren't that guy.
You're not that guy, buddy?
You're not that guy, pal. They could make the playoffs, but I don't know.
Here's the
I
thing
want
about
the
the
Chargers.
Broncos. Here's the thing about the Broncos. They beat a lot of bad teams,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of bad teams in the NFL.
And there's a lot of
So-
bad teams in the AFC. They still
Yeah.
get to play the Raiders again.
They get the Raiders, they get the Browns, and the Colts.
Yeah. So they do get to play some more bad teams. Oh, the Colts aren't terrible.
They're not bad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're in the Broncos conversation.
And the Bengals, depending on the week.
Yep, and I'm going to say that whoever wins that Broncos Colts game, that will make the other team a bad team.
Yeah. That will be the.
That's how you'll know.
I like that. Okay, next up, Commanders 27, Giants 22. PFT, you're 7-2. You even beat Daniel Jones, where he finally threw a touchdown in front of his home crowd. 672 days since he last threw a touchdown at MetLife Stadium.
It was New Year's Day of 2023.
He went off in the first half, 4 for 6, 0 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah,
He went off.
he went off.
Also, I noticed this, and I want to hear your perspective from the
Okay.
Commanders, but I noticed this from the Giants' perspective. It feels like Brian Daboll has realized that, like, it's all over with Daniel Jones, so fuck it, let's just run him like we did a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because he was He was just running every play.
And he was pretty good at running too.
Yeah, and they were running like options and he was keeping it, and like I think he basically was like, "Hey, Daniel, you're the whole quarterbacking thing, the throwing the ball, you're not good at, so just run it.
Let's just work on trying to get by.
Yeah.
Any way that we can. We can't afford to be picky about how you're going to play the position.
Yes.
Let's just send you out there and do what we know that you can do. And yeah, in the first half, 0 yards passing looks pretty bad on a stat sheet.
Yes, it does.
But I don't think he played that poorly in the first half overall because he was running the ball a lot.
Yeah.
And he was running people over, and they were able to move it pretty effectively. Our defense still doesn't look great. But our offense, the crazy stat that I saw today is that we have 3 turnovers this season. 3 total turnovers.
Oh, yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
That's the fewest by a team in the first 9 games of a season since 1933.
That's crazy.
And that's the first year that they tracked turnovers. So this might be the fewest of any team of all time.
Wow.
That the Commanders have. And so, yeah, Jaden played pretty well at quarterback today. I don't think it was one of those crazy, holy shit, oh my God.
No, he did what he had to do.
But he did it really well.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make mistakes. That's the crazy thing. Like he will make some mistakes. He's a rookie. He's going to figure it out. But he's very, very careful with the football.
Yeah.
And like much more so than anybody thought that he'd be as a rookie. And no turnovers, no interceptions, no fumbles. It's huge. It's huge that you have a rookie quarterback that's able to do that. So yeah, they're 7-2 for the first time since 1996. It's just crazy to think about that because they just hit their over for win total for the season.
They're
today.
a very good football team. Yeah, that was a game where it was like it wasn't a wow game. It was a division game. You took care of business.
Yeah, road game in the division.
Right.
And the Giants always play the Commanders tough. They usually beat us, honestly, especially on the road.
So I got a question for you. Steelers, Eagles next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So next like 10 days because you're going to play Thursday Night Football against the Eagles. If you're 2-0, what are your thoughts?
If we beat the Eagles,
If you're
and the
9-2,
okay. Here's how I'm looking at the NFC right now,
okay.
and you can tell me if I'm being delusional.
Hank sat
or
up.
not.
Hank sat
Yeah,
up.
yeah. This is Big Cat trapping me into.
No, I'm not. No,
I get it.
I was going to ask you 0-2 as well. I was going to ask you the reverse.
It's a good trap though because
No. I'm not trying to trap.
I'm not saying this about my team as they currently are. I'm saying this if we somehow beat.
Yeah, I was going to do 0-2 after that.
If we somehow beat the Steelers and the Eagles, here's how I see the NFC. I don't think anybody's going to beat the Lions.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are clearly the best team in the NFC. They might be the best team in football. But I think that it would be realistic if we're looking at 9-2 to say we could lose in the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
game.
you wouldn't have to play the Lions till the NFC Championship if you're 9-2.
Yeah, and I could see us potentially getting to the NFC Championship game.
And you wouldn't have to play a road game until the NFC Championship game.
And yeah, so people have to come into our death trap of a stadium,
Yes.
and it might fall on them or rain shit on them. That'd be nice. So I think you also have to take into account the trade deadline coming up on Tuesday, because I think the Commanders are going to try to get a cornerback, maybe a wide receiver,
Huge day Tuesday.
maybe pass rush. Huge day. Maction, NFL trade deadline,
Power rankings.
everything.
Everything's coming up on Tuesday.
The Super Bowl.
Yes. What about 0-2?
If we're 0-2 and we're looking at 7-4.
And you lost to the Steelers.
Wait, but what about
Eagles.
the trade deadline? What's going to happen that is so important?
I just said we could get a
cornerback or a wide receiver.
We still need help at cornerback. We need help at receiver.
Try to keep up.
Yeah. Pending those moves. But now if we're 0-2, I would say let's win a wild card game.
Okay.
Why not?
Because the Steelers and the Eagles are tough games.
Yeah, they're very
Those
tough
are
games.
not the Giants and the Panthers.
But
and the Bears.
Here's the thing: if the Commanders go 500 for the rest of the season, I think that puts us at 11 wins.
Yeah, that would.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see how fast this has turned around. And I respect the hell out of Dan Quinn because I think he's done a great job coaching the team.
He's very competent, good. Like that's the thing is you guys have a Dan Quinn's a floor guy where it's like your floor is raised to a point where you're not going to make mistakes of a poorly coached team.
Yeah.
You know, who knows what his ceiling is? Well, I guess his ceiling is going to a Super Bowl, having a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. But that type of coach, Dan Quinn, like when you go from what you had in Ron Rivera, who, it fell off at the end, to Dan Quinn, it's like I feel like he brings the whole, like, organization together being like, this is what we're going to do, and we're not going to make the dumb mistakes that have killed us.
Yeah, so if you look at 3 turnovers right now through 9 games, last year at this time we had 14 turnovers.
14.
Makes a big difference.
That's a big difference. Yeah, you guys have a lot of – I mean, you play the Saints still and the Titans.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the Commanders –
and the Cowboys stink.
If I'm looking at the schedule right now, I think saying 11 or 12 wins is very, very possible.
Very possible.
And I don't think I'm being delusional when I say that.
No, that's not delusional. If you look at the schedule, that's not delusional.
Yeah.
Because it's again, you're 7-2, and you have games against 2 games against the Cowboys, the Titans, and the Saints. That's 4 games right there where you should be favored.
Yeah.
And that's not even talking about the Steelers, the Eagles twice, and the Falcons, which you could win.
Yeah, the way I see the NFC, it's the Lions. They're number 1 no matter what right now. They're almost unbeatable, I think. And then grouped in that second group, I think the Eagles have the second best roster in the NFC. I think that the Eagles are like if they can figure out what's going on with the coaching and the weird decisions that they make sometimes and overcome the Max Mojo.
And we'll get to it, but I'm officially, like, just to add, more shit onto everything I'm dealing with, the Rams I'm starting to get nervous about.
Yeah.
The Rams are bad. I think they're tied for first in the NFC West. Oh no, the Cardinals beat them head to head. Cardinals killed them.
So, but they have the same record as the Cardinals?
They have the same record as the Cardinals. I believe they have the same record as the Cardinals and the 49ers. The 49ers are on a bye this week. So yeah, they're the Cardinals are 5-4, and the Rams and the 49ers are 4-4.
Okay.
So okay. Let's take a break, and then, or do you have anything else with the Commanders?
No, I think it was a good, clean game from Jaden, and he's awesome. He's so fun. I love him so much.
Yeah, I mean the one pass to one of the 2 touchdown passes to Terry was sick.
Yeah, I think Terry had 2 touchdowns on 2 catches and like 19 yards. Good efficient day from Terry.
I remember what I wanted to ask you. Do you have a comment about the Commanders fan?
Oh, the guy that fell down.
That was very funny.
My comment is
shit, and then he just, for people to, can we put it in? Can we put it in the can we play it real quick? Just, and then we'll put it in the show. This guy was talking shit and then forgot that gravity is not his friend.
Well, I think there was a guy in front of him and he dapped him up right here. And then on the dap, he falls forward.
That was a killer dap.
Shut your fucking mouth.
He just started rolling, and he got up, and you he's embarrassed when he's like he's like basically wedged at the bottom of the stairs, and his first instinct is to look back and continue to talk shit.
Yeah, it's good.
You're like, yeah, what'd I say?
I thought he was going to accuse the guy like pushing him over.
Yeah,
it was very clearly him. Number 1, I want to commend this guy for having excellent pocket awareness and not showing any ass crack when he bent over. That's elite. That's being situationally aware, because I think most bigger guys would have had a little crack poking out.
Yep.
Number 2, I'd like to abstain from future comment because it's a good possibility that this is one of my friend's dads. I'm just going off vibes. I've been to many Commanders games in my life where all my friends' dads looked exactly like this guy.
Yeah.
So I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And he wasn't fighting anybody.
It was a good fall.
He was just running his mouth.
It's a good fat guy fall. Okay. Let's take a break and do a couple ads, and then we will get back to more games.
Yeah, before we get back to the games, they're brought to you by our great friends over at Game Time. Game Time is the place to go if you're trying to get into any NFL game. They've got the cheapest tickets and the best deals, more importantly. Hank, we got Monday Night Football coming up tonight. Can you look up Chiefs-Bucks tickets, Bucks-Chiefs tickets?
You can get in for as low as $62 PFT. I'm looking at a super deal right now. It's $114. It's row 6, section 301. Basically looks like the 50-yard line. Perfect.
So you can go check out Game Time if you're trying to get into that game. You know how much we love Game Time. They've got brand new Game Time picks. They're making it even easier to get into a game because Game Time picks, it filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. If you look at those Chiefs-Bucks tickets right now, you can see amazing Game Time picks deals. Pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or you can browse the best local Game Time picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. So what are you waiting for? Go buy those Monday Night Football tickets right now with the Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app today. Use code PMT to easily score great deals with the new Game Time picks. What time is it? It's game time. These games are also brought to you by our good friends over at Uber Eats, where you can get almost anything. If you're ordering wings for the game, if you're whipping up a 7-layer dip, or if you're ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food no matter what you're craving. From 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms and conditions apply. See the app for details.
Okay, next game, Chargers 27, Browns 10. So Jameis Winston didn't have a great game.
I think that's fair to say. 3 picks.
3 picks. He had his 100th interception, career interception.
Mm-hmm. This is what you get.
We can't be deterred.
No, this is what happens. You're gonna have little bumps in the road with Jameis.
We were flying too high after last week. This week come crashing down. That's just what you got to take the good with the bad. Today was bad. Last week was good.
I would like to step in real quick and congratulate the haters on one thing.
Yeah.
The haters said that Jameis Winston shouldn't have won the game last week because the pass before the touchdown pass was the easiest interception of all time that just got dropped by Kyle Hamilton, right?
Mm-hmm.
The haters were right.
Well, no, they weren't right last week because then he did drop it. You got to make the play.
Yeah. Well, the curse of Jameis is sometimes he just throws such a damn catchable ball that your receiver's going to catch it or a cornerback's going to catch it.
I also think he just loves playing football that he gets so excited. It's almost like he just wants to play catch with anyone, whether it be on his team or the other team. You know, it's
sharing.
You're just like, he's at the park, he's got a ball, anyone walks by, hey, quick catch.
Or if Jameis goes to the park with a football and he sees kids, he's probably going to be like, hey, let's throw it around a little bit. He'll probably throw an easy interception, make the kid feel great.
Right.
That's just how he plays football.
Right.
He's spreading the joy of the game. Now, the Chargers defense is awesome. The Chargers defense still hasn't allowed 20 points or more than 20 points.
I'm very high on the Chargers. I think they're a very competent football team, like top to bottom. They do have to figure out their offensive line a little because I think Justin Herbert got sacked 6 times, and they obviously have Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt. But the Chargers, like Justin Herbert, is really fucking good at football, and because last year happened, I think we got off. The national media maybe got off the scent a little bit. He was one of those guys that got a little too much hype for not winning like playoff games too early, so everyone then just zagged on him. Whereas like he's always just been really good, and he just needed a good coach behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I mean, Quentin Johnson had 100 yards today, and Quentin Johnson's good at football again. Lab McConkey's awesome. Like Joshua Palmer, I think is a top 3 receiver for him. It's not like he's throwing to the best receivers, and he just is really, really good at football. And the Chargers defense is awesome, and they have. Here's the thing with, and this is why it kills me. You know, we'll get to the Bears, but like the Harbaugh, why I love Harbaugh, and why people are like, oh, you glaze Harbaugh. What Harbaugh does when you get a guy like Jim Harbaugh, he gives your team an identity. The Chargers have an identity. They play tough, hard football, and when you have an identity, you can win games. Like that's huge.
I think a different way of saying that is also saying that the stupid mistakes, the weird ways that the Chargers have found to lose football games in like the last, I don't know, 15 years, those tend to go away with a great coach like this because he gives you an identity and he gives you a belief. And then you start paying attention to all the details mean something to you,
right? Because
you feel like you're a part of something that's bigger. And so you do, like if you have a great teacher in school that connects with you and you enjoy that class, you're going to try a little bit harder on every single assignment than you would for a teacher that you don't give a fuck about.
Right. And you go into a game and you're like, these coaches have a game plan for us to win this game.
Yeah.
We're going to play good defense. We're going to run the football. Like they have an identity and they know how they want to play football games and how they want to dictate games. And that just goes such a long way in the NFL. And yeah, I'm very high on the Chargers. I think they're a good, like they are. If you look at, we were just talking about the Broncos. If you look at the AFC playoff picture and you take out the division winners and the Ravens, so that's the Chiefs, the Bills, the Steelers, the Texans, and the Ravens, because the Ravens are technically second right now in the AFC North. There's those 2 spots left, and I think the Chargers are one of those 2 spots, because it's between the Chargers, the Broncos, the Colts, the Bengals, and I'll even throw in the Jets for you, memes. Out of those 5 teams, I think the Chargers are one of the 2 best of those 5.
Yeah, their defense is so good. They've allowed the 3rd fewest points per game by any team through 8 games in the last 15 seasons.
I don't think anyone has scored over 20 points on them this year.
Yeah. But the others that are in that top 4 of the best defenses in terms of scoring, the others in that top 4, they all made the playoffs and they all won at least 11 games. So they are a legit team, and I think if you just take that great defense, and then Herbert, we know, is a good quarterback. He's just been abused. He's like a homeless animal. Yeah. That now has its forever home. I think that if you can get 75% of how good Justin Herbert has been at his best in his career, they're a good team. They've got holes. They've got weaknesses.
Yeah, of course they're not. I mean, they're not super explosive on offense. I think it's starting to get there in terms of like they're starting to pass the ball more. Yeah, we talked about on Friday how Justin Herbert's pass attempts have gone up the last few weeks. It's clear that they're like trying to let him rip it a little, especially with guys getting healthier. But yeah, this is a solid, fundamentally sound team, and what I expected them to do is beat a not fundamentally sound team in the Browns. The Browns are definitely like they have to sell.
Yeah.
If they could sell anything.
What are they going to sell?
Well,
Myles
Mike
Garrett?
Tannenbaum. Did you see that on Get Up?
No.
Mike Tannenbaum, former Jets GM. Former Jets GM.
Cargo shorts.
One of the worst hypothetical trades I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm happy you didn't see this because I'm going to tell it to you.
Okay.
And it was so bad he got laughed like in his face on Get Up. He got laughed in his face.
By who?
Everyone on the panel.
Greeny?
I don't know if Greeny was there that day. Here's what it is. The Detroit Lions get Myles Garrett.
Okay. Good trade for the Lions.
The Browns get... I'll start with the least amount. 2nd round pick.
Okay. I need to see what Myles Garrett's contract
Hold
looks
on.
like.
That was the least. That was the
Okay.
2nd round pick. 3 first round picks. And Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's yeah.
That was the trade he proposed. It was one of the worst trades proposed of all time. All time.
Who says no?
Who says no? Everyone was like, dude, what are you? He's like, well, Jahmyr Gibbs is redundant to David Montgomery. It's like, have you watched the Lions game? The whole point is they have these guys that you cannot stop. Like you can't take away one of them. The whole point is like they have Sonic and Knuckles.
Does he have any connection to the Browns right now? Is he just trying to gas up Myles Garrett's trade value?
I don't know what it was. It was shocking. And it was when I say everyone laughed in his face. And then everyone was like, this guy was the fucking GM. And he kept on saying, like, when they were laughing in his face, he kept on saying, but the Lions will win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would say.
He was like, the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl with Myles Garrett. But it's like, dude, if they don't win the Super Bowl, you just gave up everything.
Yeah, I would say that this is a great trade for the Browns. A 2nd round pick for Myles Garrett.
3 first.
Yeah, but just a 2nd on its own sounds like it's a pretty heavy price, right?
Yeah, I don't know what his how long is he signed for? He's signed for 3 more years? Yeah, 3 more years.
No,
you'd have to give up a 1st round pick for Myles Garrett.
Yeah. I was assuming that this was like maybe the last 2 years of his contract.
3 for that. He made that's like I don't even know. It was such an insane thing, and he kept on being like, but they're going to win a Super Bowl with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, that's not a trade that's going to happen.
So I don't even know how we got here. Oh, because the Browns should trade Myles Garrett.
They should trade. Yeah, if anybody wants any of their players, just pay. Everyone's open.
Yeah,
just nobody's off limits. I got an interesting stat about this game, Big Cat.
Oh, okay.
Teams in the NFL are now 0-2 on the season when playing a Harbaugh brother just after beating a Harbaugh brother.
Oh yeah.
First the Raiders, remember that? Antonio Pierce?
Yep.
And I think that was the same thing where they both beat John and then Jim avenged his brother's loss.
Yeah.
So Jim is now 2-0
That's what he's doing.
On avenging losses for his brother.
Do we have any more of these situations coming up?
We actually do. The Bengals have an opportunity to do just that over their next 2 games.
Oh. So
but
if the Bengals
they might be doing it reverse. Who do the Bengals?
No, the Bengals play the Ravens next week, and then they play the Chargers. So if the Bengals beat the Ravens, hammer the Chargers.
Yes, if the trend holds, You could also say that there's a trend that teams that play the Harbaugh brothers back-to-back weeks
Go 1-1.
They always go 1-0. They always win the first leg of it.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So you would say Bengals.
No, they always go 1-1 though.
No, but they go 1-0 in their first. First one. So they always beat John and then lose to Jim.
Got it. Okay, so
It's a trend.
So the Bengals win on Thursday, Chargers.
Yep.
The next week. That is a trend. That's a pretty big sample size too.
I do think that Jim Harbaugh sees a team beat his brother. He's
100%.
like, fuck these guys.
Without a doubt. He absolutely does. Especially because even though John is older, Jim is.
Yeah, Jim, he deputized himself as being,
Jim definitely has slipped up and said, "My baby brother John."
I bet you Jim has signed permission slips for John in the past.
John definitely once a year has to be like, I'm older than you, right? Like, I am older than you. He is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm because like he's not.
Yeah.
Jim is older. Jim's a big brother.
Jim is big brother vibes.
He's an ultimate big brother.
Let's see. John Harbaugh is.
Yeah, I think John,
you're right.
I think John's a couple years older.
John's
but
the older one, but
Jim is older. Jim is the older brother.
62. John is 62.
And how old is Jim?
And then Jim is.
It doesn't matter.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jim's older.
Yeah.
We got it. Next time we have him on, we got to ask him that.
Mm-hmm. Jim definitely a little bros John.
Yeah. We got to do like one of those trick ones where it's like, where you're like, what is this? What's the color? What's that color? White. What's that color? White. And then what do cows drink? Milk. Mm-hmm. You fuck up and say cows drink milk. We got to do that with him.
You just fucked me up when you said that.
Yeah. You can fuck people up with that. We got to be like, what's older, like older or younger, and then just get him to be like, yeah, I'm older than him.
Yeah, he would say it.
He absolutely would. Okay, next game. Bengals 41, Raiders 24. Are the Bengals back or do they play the Raiders?
I think they're both.
Joe Burrow was awesome.
I think they're both back and also played the Raiders because Joe Burrow had a great quote after the game because he didn't look happy during this game.
No, he's pissed.
He had 5 touchdowns, right?
He did have a pick 6.
He had a pick 6, 5 touchdowns, and he looked pissed the entire game, even when they were scoring, when they were winning. After the game, he looked pissed off. He said, if we don't score a touchdown on a drive, I'm not going to be very happy for the rest of the year. So he's flipped the switch.
Yeah, he's flipped the switch. Five touchdowns. He's flipped the switch. He's going to be hard on himself, hard on everyone else.
And Trey Hendrickson had a great game too.
Trey Hendrickson had 4 sacks. Chase Brown had a great game. It was crazy that he threw 5 touchdowns, none of them to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And the Bengals, they needed this game. Joe Burrow also, like watching Joe Burrow play, he is the definition of like his ability to scramble inside the pocket is so goddamn good. Where it's like he's not the most athletic guy. He's not going to beat you with his feet, but he does beat you with his feet. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
He'll start escaping to the right, and then when he's halfway to the sidelines, find a guy.
Keep plays going. Yeah, where it's like he's never going to run, but he's just going to keep the play alive for those extra few seconds that always end up in a completion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Raiders are one of the saddest teams out there right now because we had yet again Antonio Pierce just frustratingly bench Gardner Minshew for Desmond Ridder. Mm-hmm. So this is, I think, two times now that he's just not for injury, just like, I'm sick of you, Gardner. Get out of here. What did you expect?
He's just hoping.
He's just Gardner Minshew. Like, I love Gardner Minshew, but like, you can't go into a game with Gardner Minshew as your starter and be like, this is going to be awesome.
He's just hoping that the next guy that he puts in is going to be electric. Like putting in Desmond Ridder and you think that you're going to get his last year at Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Raiders are ass.
They say that hope isn't a strategy. I think for the Raiders it is.
Yeah, it's not working.
They've reached the point where it's just like, I hope that AOC is going to be good when I put him in. I hope that Gardner's going to be good once I've benched him already. I hope that Desmond Ridder somehow is good now.
Yeah, and it's never going to happen.
No.
It's never going to happen. By the way, AOC, yeah, he's hurt, right?
Yep.
He hurt his foot. I saw a very funny, someone tried to make the argument. What year was Aiden O'Connell drafted? I want to say it was
22.
Was it it's 2023 NFL draft. Someone pointed out, wait, I'm going to pull it up. Oh, it was after CJ Stroud had a bad Thursday night game. And someone was like, isn't it crazy that Aiden O'Connell's the best quarterback for this draft class? Because it's like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. I don't know.
Will Levis. Yeah.
Obviously, it was a joke because CJ Stroud is very good. Hendon Hooker, Jake Hayner, Stetson Bennett, Clayton Tune, DTR, Sean Clifford, Jaron Hall, Max Duggan, and then Aiden O'Connell. Was he the best? Was he the best quarterback in that draft?
There was one that you said that was like the 5th or 6th.
Jake Hayner.
Yeah, Jake Hayner. No, not him. Who's before him?
Let's see. Clayton Tune. Definitely not him.
Was it him?
Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, Hendon Hooker. He might be good.
Stetson Bennett. We don't know. DTR. He's played a little.
I don't think Hendon Hooker has lost a game that he's been in.
That's facts. But yeah, the Raiders are just so sad. It's crazy how many teams are really, really bad. This early too, because like you said, what was the stat? 9 teams or 2 wins?
9 teams have 2 wins.
9 teams have 2 wins in week 9. It feels like at least usually like 3 or 4 of those teams would have 3 wins, which I know it sounds crazy to say, but 2-6 versus 3-5 is a big fucking difference.
It is. Having 2 wins right now I can't believe that it's possible for 9 teams to have 2 wins.
Yeah. They're just really, really bad teams.
Yeah, we were right.
Yeah.
When we were talking about, we did the ass list.
Yeah, we did the ass list. So, the Raiders are ass and the Bengals are maybe bad. The Bengals, it all comes down to the next 3 weeks. They play the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Steelers.
Yeah.
If they can survive that stretch 2-1, I think they can be in a playoff team. If they go 1-2, then we're talking about you literally cannot lose another game. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to. And that Thursday night game against the Ravens is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very excited for that game.
It's nice having a big matchup on Thursday.
Yes. Very, very nice. And then we followed up with Eagles Commanders the week after.
Wow.
Which that one's going to be a must-watch stream.
Perm
bet. Okay, next up. Bengals back. I'm going to say Bengals back.
Yeah, the Bengals could be back.
They could be back.
I still don't know if they're back.
If they beat the Ravens, they are officially 100% back.
I never really stopped believing that the Bengals could be back potentially, but there's just so many things. They can't fuck up even once.
I think when they lost to the Ravens, I think we looked ahead and we're like, there's a very good chance that when they play the Ravens next, it will be to get back to 500, which would obviously be huge if they get to 5-5. Because then I feel like if you get to 5-5, then a little bit of the pressure comes off where it's like, hey, we don't have to win every single game down the stretch.
Yeah.
Okay. Panthers 23, Saints 22. Holy shit, there's a lot of them in this game. Let's start with the crazy stat Bill Barnwell said. The Saints outgained the Panthers by 150-plus yards, ran for 150-plus yards, and won the turnover battle. Last 20 years, teams were 275-0 doing that. Now 275-1. The Saints ran the ball down their throat. Bryce Young was not terrible, and the Panthers end up winning this game. Good for the Panthers. Every single person that's ever been associated with the Saints decided to take to Twitter and tweet about this. And it's like
X.com, the everything app.
And it's like fires everywhere.
Yeah. For
the New Orleans Saints right now.
Michael Thomas during the game.
During the game, Michael Thomas went off. Do you have the tweets in front of you?
I don't have Slantman's tweets in front of me. I've got some other ones though.
Okay, yeah, so Michael Thomas, we'll pull those up. We had Chris Olave get another concussion, which sucked, and he got carted off. His brother was giving updates and was like, my brother's awake and responsive at the hospital, like everything's good. Then someone said, so he said, bro just called, he's up and active. A guy quote tweeted said, might be time to have that is it worth it talk. And Josh Olave wrote back, ain't worth it in NOLA, I'll tell you that. So that's not good. We also had, who was it? Colleen Saunders took to Twitter and he said, fans say keep losing so we can get number 1 pick. Hell, throw me in a QB shit. Let's have something fun to watch. Motherfuckers is cheekbones. Shake my head. New Orleans, you all deserve better. My only goal is to finish above 500 at this point.
Cheekbones.
And then someone said, damn, bro, so are we last or y'all? And he said...
Well, that wasn't... I don't think that was someone. I think that
was Lonnie Johnson. Sorry. Yeah. Lonnie Johnson Jr. said, "Are we last or are you all?"
Yep.
And he said, "Lonnie, brother, shut your weak ass up. We will both be in Cabo January 10th. I know we ain't in no last place argument. This is absurd."
Yeah, Cam Jordan also tweeted, "We just lost to the Panthers." And then J.C. Horn replied, "Dude, we got the same record."
Yeah.
Like, that says it all right there. The Saints thought that they were above the Panthers.
And they're not.
They're not at all. And then
they've lost 7 in a row.
There's another Saunders tweet that's very funny, too. He said, if that was a college bowl game, that motherfucker would have been called the Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl. We just lost the Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl.
Oh, shit. So here's what Michael Thomas said. Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl?
The Cottonelle Doo-Doo Bowl.
That's a great one. Michael Thomas said they fired all them coaches trying to cover his flaws up. He's still doing the same shit. This is about Derek Carr. Oh, no. It started with Derek Carr. For you, I've been told you're all shit sad. This is after Chris Olave gets injured. Dude's scary and panic and just throw the ball. Get him the fuck out of here. So ass. That year his buddy went first team All-Pro in 2022. He needed 180 targets just to catch 100 passes. He is ass on my granny. Dude tried to lie and say I was jealous of them making Chris wide receiver 1 whole time. He can't even get him a decent ball. He need his ass whooped. And they fired all them coaches trying to cover his flaws up. Still doing the same shit. I feel bad for Derek Carr. Derek Carr had to answer this in the post-game press conference. He answered it just like you thought Derek Carr would. He's like, I don't know why he hates me. I've tried to reach out to him. It sucks. It just sucks. But yeah, that was a full meltdown of everyone in the Saints world while the Saints lost to the Panthers.
Yeah, it was tough. I did feel bad for Derek Carr, too. I also saw this stat from Josh Dubow. He put out a list of the most losses as a starting quarterback. Through 4 seasons, it's David Carr. Through 5 seasons, it's David Carr. Through 6 seasons, it's David Carr. Through 7 seasons, it's Derek Carr.
Oh, no.
Through 8 seasons, Derek Carr. 9 seasons, Derek Carr. 10 seasons, Derek Carr. And then 11 seasons, where we're at right now, Derek Carr and Archie Manning are tied.
Wow.
So with one more loss, then that becomes
shit.
Derek Carr's as well.
Derek Carr also is the first quarterback to start in losses versus 31 NFL teams. He plays the Raiders on 12/29.
Okay. I saw the stat and I looked up the other quarterbacks that are on that list. And you pretty much have to be like a good quarterback to be on that list.
Or have played forever. Yeah, you've played forever.
You play forever, you start forever. Flacco's on that list.
Okay.
At 30. And I believe Flacco has the opportunity to lose to one of the 2 teams that he hasn't lost to yet.
Okay.
If you look at the Colts schedule. So he might get to 31 maybe.
But Derek Carr has a big game against the Raiders on December 29th.
But they are the Raiders.
They are the Raiders.
But they're the Saints.
They're the Saints. The Saints are no longer above anyone.
I just did it.
Yeah.
I just did the Cam Jordan real time.
I'm happy that Bryce Young got a win.
Yeah.
Like, that was good. He had a really he had a competent game.
He
didn't light it on fire, but he had a competent game, which is a big step up from what we saw last year and the beginning of this year.
Yeah, he had a couple nice passes to Xavier Legette.
Yeah.
They're a very young team at wide receiver now. He looked like he had fun.
Yeah.
And good for the Panthers.
You have to be happy for the Panthers and their fans, because being on that team has to be just like hell. So even winning one game, just for a week, to be able to be like, shit, we can actually smile for a week in the building.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And just know that the Saints, what Cam Jordan tweeted out, that's what all the Saints thought about you.
Yeah.
They thought that they were 5 times better than the Panthers
and
were
they're
as
not.
an organization. They're not. They're maybe, I'm not going to say the biggest bummer in the NFL, but they're definitely in the top 4 bummers in the NFL, just in terms of watching the team, because you recognize everything about the Saints. They've got so many guys that have been on that team for so long. Mm-hmm. But it's like when you see the commercials with all the guys from The Office on it, and you're like, well, I recognize all those guys from that TV show that I used to like. They're doing a commercial together, but it's not the same. They're old. They're not those same characters anymore. That's what the Saints are right now. They're just a collection of guys that used to be good together 8 years ago.
Yeah, right. They're
not going to change.
Right. They wear the same uniform. There's some of the same names, but they're not.
Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Jimmy Graham suited up at some point this year for the Saints, right? Would that blow your mind?
No, not at all.
It would not.
Not even close.
He actually should.
He absolutely should. But yeah, the Saints, whew. It's Dennis Allen is I was looking it up. He's now 26-52 as a head coach, and there's only 2 head coaches in history who have coached as many games as he has with a worse losing percentage. He's the 3rd worst NFL head coach of all time.
And who were those other guys?
They were, let's see, yeah. Pull it up. He's so bad. I don't know how he's still employed. It makes no sense.
The salary cap doesn't count against coaches. You can move on from a coach.
So it is, let's look this up. Coaches' records. If you sort by win-loss percentage, I believe, so Dennis Allen is 16th worst coach just based on win-loss percentage. And then the only coaches who have coached more games than him with a worse record is Marion Campbell, who has 34-80 all-time coaching record. And then you had Joe Bugle. Joe Bugle was 24-56. If he loses a couple more games, he will be the worst coach of all time. It's crazy. He's so bad.
Joe Bugle, great offensive line coach.
Yeah. It's shocking that Dennis Allen is. I don't know how he still has. I mean, I guess I do know how he still has a job, but I don't know how he.
I don't really know.
I think it's really because he's so unremarkable.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like if they went to fire him, they'd be like, "What does he look like again?"
Yeah, I don't understand. I have not seen anything redeemable about Dennis Allen since he's taken over as the coach of the Saints.
If Dennis Allen walked by you on the street, would you notice?
Okay,
I don't think so.
I've thought this about Zach Taylor.
Yeah, but I think I would know Zach Taylor at this point.
Kevin O'Connell,
I'd know. He's tall.
If Zach Taylor wasn't, if he was wearing like I don't know, like a sweater and khakis and no hat, and then if Dennis Allen was wearing a sweater, khakis, no hat, they walk past me, I don't think I recognize either one of them.
If Mincy brought Dennis Allen into this office but didn't tell us it was Dennis Allen, I don't think I would know.
If he told you it was the quarterback coach of Ole Miss.
Yeah, if he was, or he's like, this is a friend from the South.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, nice to meet you. He'd be like, hi, I'm Dennis. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Dennis Allen? Worst coach of all time?
Yeah, get out.
Holy shit. Okay, next up, Hank, last early game, Titans 20, Patriots 17.
Your thoughts?
Drake May played decent.
The touchdown drive to tie the game was good.
And the last touchdown specifically, like
yeah, he was running, scrambling forever. Yeah,
that was a good end of game rep for him to get and to be successful in. So that was good to see. Interceptions weren't great, especially in overtime. He kind of said afterwards, though, the best play sometimes is just throw it incomplete. Tried to be a hero, didn't work out. We're back at the top of the
Tankathon.
Love
you
that.
are
Nice.
So in that way, it's a win.
Draft tomorrow. Who do you take?
Shador?
I feel like you got to take the best player in college football.
Travis Hunter. Yeah.
Travis Hunter. That's a good point. That's a really good
you
point.
get 2 players for 1 with him. It's tremendous value. So
Travis Hunter and Christian Gonzalez.
Travis Hunter can catch.
Yeah, but I'm saying defensively, like that'd be
Yeah. Are you now saying that the Patriots are sellers at the trade deadline? Because I know that you were towing that line between buying and
those
selling.
are reports that I never understood.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely say we're sellers. I don't know.
But what would you sell?
Yeah, I don't. We could probably give away all of our wide receivers for like a bag of donuts.
Okay.
Box of donuts.
Ramondre.
I mean, he played well. He scored our only 2 touchdowns. I don't really know what we'll sell. I don't know. I saw another report that was like teams are asking about Gonzalez. That would be insane.
That would be crazy. A young, great player like that.
You can't do that.
Don't get rid of him.
You can't do that. That's all you got? Titans. I can't quit the Titans because their defense is good.
Are they good, or do they play the Patriots?
No, they've actually been statistically very good this year. And very good, I mean, relatively for a 2-win team.
Yeah.
They're like a top 10 defense statistically.
Yeah, I mean, that you guys were giving me shit for it. This game fell under the category of like this game was not exciting to watch.
No, it was a terrible game to watch.
Nor it was fun at the very end. I needed Drake to have over 200 yards passing, so that was.
It was weird
even
watching
more
you
intense,
watch it, and you were like, it was like you had no care about the actual outcome, which I I mean, you want to lose, but it was weird watching that. You're just like, I just want him to pass it. And then when we went to overtime, you're like, don't screen pass it.
Well, yeah, I didn't want a Tua situation.
Yeah.
There was a moment where it was actually right after Drake May's interception. Hank was just like, yes, like quietly, like it's over. He's not going to throw a screen pass. It's going to go for negative yards. But I mean, Hank,
but you're tanking, so that's okay. To root against your team.
That was a good loss.
Hank is being logical when it comes to his team. I think a lot of times us as fans, we're not logical. Like last year, I was rooting for Washington to win every game going down the stretch that they end up losing. I'm very glad that we lost those games. You should not. It makes sense to root for your team to lose when they're in a position like this.
Yeah.
So Hank is very clear-headed about that, especially given how there's so many shitty teams right now. Like every loss matters, Hank.
Yeah, it was a good loss.
This was actually a great loss.
Exciting, fun to watch loss.
This was maybe the best loss because it was against a team that had one win.
Drake May makes the Patriots watchable.
Definitely.
We told you when he got in, when you were like, I don't want him to play. We're like, no, you do want him to play because it makes it so that there's actually something to watch.
And the reason was because the offensive line, I didn't realize how bad our wide receivers were.
Yeah.
Past 2 weeks have been shocking.
Can't catch.
So this did break the combo or the trend of teams that just got done playing the Lions stinking the next week. But the Patriots covered
the spread.
So that's what really matters.
That was huge. That's it? That's all you got?
Is there something I'm missing? Like,
no, I don't think so. It was a very boring
I have
game.
More?
What do you think about your?
I don't think you should.
Tell me about Mayo. How'd Mayo do today?
Was he boisterous? He should have gone for 2. There's something.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Should have gone for 2. You're a 1-win team or 2-win team. You're on the road. You score an insane touchdown to get within 1 with time gone. Like it was literally zeros on the clock. Why wouldn't you just go for 2?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Like it's just at this point, like
he's coaching scared.
But just try to win the game right there.
Well, that maybe he wasn't trying to win the game.
You're right.
Think about it that way.
But I would have gone for 2 there. There's no reason not to go for 2 there. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
End the game on the field.
Yeah.
Keep the momentum.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, I mean the Titans are a tough watch. Mason Rudolph makes them somewhat competent offensively.
Is Levis actually hurt? Or is this
I think it might be.
We're going to go with Mason because we think we're going to say that Will Levis is banged up.
We don't want the whole team to revolt right now. Yeah, might be one of those. Because he definitely brings competency to them.
Yeah,
that they didn't have.
He brings a little bit of boringness.
Definitely boringness, and you have a good defense.
But I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
like a stable guy. He's a guy that I'm going to settle down with this guy.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do the afternoon games. Before we do that, PFT, you have 2 more ads, and we'll do the afternoon games.
Before we get back to more games, they're brought to you by our good friends over at Thorne. Thorne's got a wide range of highly effective nutritional supplements that are made to promote and maintain your health goals throughout all of your life stages. Thorne is backed by science. It takes a personalized approach to optimizing your health and wellness, teaming up with leading medical professionals to develop their products. They've got over 100 products to provide whatever lifestyle support you may need. Part of my take, we're big fans that are creatine. Hank's on creatine. The amino complex is really, really nice. It's a combination of Thorne's exclusive and best-selling products, all formulated for athletes, available on their website. It's not just us who love them. Thorne supplements are trusted by millions, including professional sports teams and celebrities. I'm a big fan of Thorne's amino complex. I like to use it before a workout. If I'm getting on the Peloton, take some amino complex, hitting the gym, hit that amino complex, and their creatine is excellent as well. Hank, you agree?
I love it, yeah. I use it every day.
We joke about Hank and his quest to possibly never dunk, but Hank's looking good. Hank, you're looking right.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it must be that creatine.
It's that Thorne.
You can get athletic support or just support for any kind of lifestyle at thorne.com. That's THORNE.com. THORNE.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. These games are also brought to you by NASCAR and the Daytona 500. The adrenaline of the Daytona 500 is something you have to experience in person. Nothing like witnessing the stars of NASCAR battle for position going 200 miles per hour on this 2.5-mile speedway. 40 drivers competing amongst the likes of Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Denny Hamlin, our guy, Ross Chastain, and Bubba Wallace as they try to make their mark to start a historic NASCAR season. You won't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime sporting event. Purchase your tickets today for the 2025 Daytona 500 at Daytona500.com. Daytona500.com. That seems like a bucket list sporting event to go to. The Daytona 500?
Yes.
I would love to go at some point.
Love to.
Daytona500.com. Get your tickets today.
Okay. Cardinals 29, Bears 9. So, if I assume everyone listening right now probably follows us all on Twitter, but if you don't, I had to go to the ER on Saturday because I have kidney stones. So I was in intense pain. I was actually pulling into the zoo with my kids, and my whole body locked up, and I was sweating profusely, and my stomach felt like it was going to explode, and my back hurt. So I went to the ER on Saturday, spent like 2 hours at the ER, had a scan. They told me I have 4 kidney stones, one that's currently passing through my body. I've been in just intense pain, woke up in intense pain this morning, been taking pain pills, just pissing nonstop. All that said,
Have you passed any stones?
I have not yet. We're working on one real bad. But all that said, as bad as going to the ER is and all the pain I'm in, and kidney stones is some of the worst pain ever, that was not even close to the worst part of my weekend, because watching this game was by far and away the worst part of my weekend. And this team has quit, and Matt Eberflus is a loser, and he needs to be fired, which he won't be, because the Bears will never fire a coach in the middle of the season. They have been around for 100-plus years. They have never fired a coach in the middle of a season. This team quit. It's an utter disaster, lifeless, garbage. Matt Eberflus is a loser, just full-blown loser. He is 0-18 on Sundays on the road.
That was a crazy stat when I saw that. Took my breath away.
He has won 3 road games in the last 3 years. At the Commanders on Thursday Night Football, at the Patriots on Monday Night Football, and then he beat the Vikings on Monday Night Football. He is 0-18 on the road on Sundays. He's never won a Matt Nagy. They're all the same, by the way. They're all the same. Matt Nagy, Mark Trestman, Matt Eberflus, John Fox. They're all the same. They just fucking, all they do is hire just fucking pussy head coaches that are just can be bossed around, and they suck, and they're not leader of men. Matt Eberflus has never gotten on a plane with his team on a Sunday being like, hey, we feel good. I guess they did beat the Jaguars. That was technically a home game in London.
In London, yeah.
But think about that. He's never gotten on a plane on a Sunday been like, great win, boys. Never happened.
That's insane. It's crazy. 0-18. That's a huge sample size too. He's a loser. I agree with you. Matt Eberflus.
They're all the same.
Loser.
He's a loser. He was a loser. I've known he's been a loser, but I was like, listen, I'm going to trust Ryan Poles. Like, whatever. You're going to have to go with this. I had these problems last year, but it's like, fuck it. We're all in. We're going to just do it with Matt Eberflus. He got a fucking haircut. He went on Hard Knocks. He got funked up. Shout out our guy Funk. He actually is legit. Matt Eberflus is a fucking loser, though. He's a loser amongst losers, and he's just perfect for this Bears organization that's run by losers, and they're not serious, and it's just so depressing to be back at this spot.
Credit to Matt Eberflus, though.
You almost said Nagy again.
I almost did. Credit to Matt Eberflus. He did say that's on me again this week.
Yeah.
So after that,
well, no, he didn't say that last week.
He said that one. It starts with me.
After he got bullied into saying it. He didn't say it for 3 days.
Okay,
just like he didn't make a decision on Tyreek Stevenson for 3 days. And basically got bullied into benching him, and then that became a whole story.
And then Tyreek Stevenson bullied him for benching him.
The guy can't make a decision.
So, but he did take responsibility for the play right before halftime this week.
That was the quit play.
It was a quit play, and he said that one was on me, hand up. I called a pass defense and left us exposed to that run. does that show that he's learning, not only because he's able to take responsibility so much faster, and then also does it show that he's learning because at the end of a half, instead of trying to give up or letting the other team have those easy 10 yards to put them in Hail Mary position, he played a pass defense.
Yeah.
So he adjusted from what he did last week and then got absolutely torched on a run this week.
He's so bad.
He's bad.
He's so bad.
He's bad. I don't want to. I'm not saying I told you so to you, Big Cap, but
I knew he was bad. I had to go with it. But what are you going to do?
No, I know you did. I'm saying that the Bears are idiots for keeping him around.
Yeah, no shit. I knew that. But once they made the decision, I wanted who was at the front of the line trying to get Jim Harbaugh. I made shirts for it. Jim Harbaugh would have changed everything about this franchise. Yeah, but they would never bring an alpha in who would command would walk into Hallis Hall and be everyone's boss. And after they wouldn't let that happen.
After your team makes a decision to bring him back, you can't just be like, fuck Matt Eberflus for the next 9 months.
You got to just basically be like, hope this works out, and then knowing all too well that you'll end up exactly at this spot where it's like, get this fucking guy out of my life, get Shane Waldron out of my life. Listen, I like Ryan Poles for what he's done for this roster, but if he stays loyal to Matt Eberflus, that is a insane indictment on his decision making. Because already we're looking at the offensive line that is just so. I mean, I know people are going to want me to bash Caleb Williams. I'm not changing on Caleb Williams. Could Caleb Williams get ruined by what's happening with Matt Eberflus in this offensive line? Absolutely. I'm not changing on Caleb Williams. The offensive line, the Arizona Cardinals have no pass rush. They had twice this entire season. They had 3 sacks or more in a game. They had 3 sacks in 3 consecutive plays today.
Yeah, that was a bad drive.
That's how fucking bad this offensive line, this play calling. Shane Waldron goes into every game with just it feels like he's going on vibes.
Yeah,
there's just no rhyme or reason. I mean, I knew we were fucked once Montez Sweat was out before the game, but the defense got gashed finally, and I think that was the point where it's like for the first part of the season, even last half of last year, you could at least hang your hat on Matt Eberflus is doing a great job with the defense. The defense has turned around and been an elite defense for, like I said, the last half of last year, first half of this year. They've been a top 10 unit. Today they quit. And you saw it all week with all the people, Jalen Johnson and Byard and Cole Kmet all saying hey, we got, even Caleb Williams we got to be a player-led team. Essentially saying we don't have a coach.
Yeah, and Matt Eberflus got lucky too at the end of this game because Caleb should not have been in for that last series.
Such a fucking moron, loser piece of shit.
And Caleb, he went down awkwardly. I think it was the last play of the game, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have been fireable on the if they didn't fire Matt Eberflus, if he got his quarterback injured in a game like this, then they're just never going to fire the guy. It would have been the worst coaching decision of the year in the NFL. They just they played they played soft. They
quit.
They look afraid. They look lost.
The Cardinals, and credit to Cardinals. Cardinals I think are they're a good team. Kyler didn't even have to be hero Kyler today. They just ran the ball down our throat. He made the plays when he needed to make, but it wasn't Kyler had to run around and make incredible plays. They just lined up and just beat us.
The first half, they were running the football down your throat.
Down our throat. The next gen stats, 16 different Cardinals got a pressure against the Bears on Sunday. The Cardinals had a 26.6% pressure rate going into the game. They pressured Caleb Williams on 46% of his dropbacks.
You say 16 Cardinals?
16 Cardinals.
That's so hard to do.
They're pulling guys off the bench, being like, hey, you want to get a pressure? Go ahead. Just get in the game. 46.6% pressure rate.
That's got to be the most amount of players to get a pressure in an NFL game, right?
Since 2018.
Only in those 6 years.
Yeah.
That seems just insane to me.
It's just an all-out disaster. I'm I'm sick. If we didn't have to stream the game, I would have turned the game off because it was such a gross watch. And the team has quit, and Matt Eberflus has to go. Has to go. They will not fire him in the middle of the season because the McCaskies run the fucking organization like it's 1925, and it doesn't fucking matter to them. And we'll probably hire another weenie as a head coach. I'll get my hopes up that it's Ben Johnson, and then we'll be like, oh, the defensive coordinator for the fucking Panthers did a pretty good job this year. Let's hire him.
Yeah.
oh fuck, this oh, did you see the offense for the offense for the fucking, I don't even know. Like the Cowboys offense actually turned around at the end of the year. Let's hire the offensive coordinator. Like what? It's so stupid.
You know what? You know who's good on TV? Jason Garrett. Let's get him back.
It's fucking, I literally like daydream about what it would be like if Jim Harbaugh was the coach of this team, because this team has talent and they just are just so poorly coached, and we're just right back in the same bullshit, and Caleb Williams deserves better. And I convinced myself it was going to be different because what am I supposed to do? I'm an idiot fan, and I convinced myself it's going to be different every year, and it's the same shit.
You just got to worry. You alluded to it, but you got to worry about them breaking Caleb.
Oh,
now.
Absolutely. It was a concern after the Texans game. It's now DEFCON, like red, like whatever DEFCON you do, because I'm convinced it's going to happen now.
There was a moment during a play where Caleb was running around with the ball, and he shrugged and threw his arms up like, what the fuck am I supposed to do during a play as he's scrambling? And at that point, you're like, this guy he's teetering right now.
It's just they suck, and they're always going to suck because the owners are going to always do the same shit, and it's just going to be the same fucking shit over and over and over. And I don't know why I get excited. I shouldn't have ever gotten excited. I feel like an idiot, but yeah. And Matt Eberflus a loser. Get him out.
Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels.
Bill Belichick doesn't like Caleb Williams. You've told me that. He bashes him on the inside of the NFL. Mike Vrabel. Now that's a name.
That's a man.
That's a man who would come in and stuff all these fucking losers in a locker and be like, this is how we're going to play football.
You need the guru offensive coordinator too, though, I think.
I agree with that. Ben Johnson is, I'm going to make a little dream board, and every night I'm going to kiss it. I'm going to kiss Ben Johnson on the lips and be like, please, Ben, come and save the franchise.
What about this? What about a mix of what Hank's talking about? What about Vrabes, head coach, Josh McDaniels, OC?
That's fine. Mike Vrabel would be the most competent coach since Lovey. I mean, that's the other thing is, like, you look at what the Bears have had for the Mark Trestman, John Fox, Matt Nagy, Matt Eberflus. They kicked Lovey to the curb. I understand time, whatever. It runs. He won 10 games, and we've been searching for that competency since. And you get one blip. That's all the Bears franchise does. One blip every now and then. Lightning in a bottle. 2018. Oh shit, this might be something. I don't give a fuck.
Ryan Day.
Fuck Ryan Day. No. If you could play Penn State every week, I'd take Ryan Day. You know what? You know who they're gonna get? You know who they're gonna get? They're gonna get Stinkin' Riley. And that's gonna suck.
Reunite him?
Yeah. They're gonna get Stinkin' Riley. He's gonna bolt from USC. And that's gonna be a disaster. He's gonna get Caleb Williams playing good football, and that defense is gonna erode, and it's gonna just be like the Bears will then flip into a team that scores a lot and has the worst defense in the NFL.
What would you say if this happened?
You'd prefer that though, over this.
Yeah, I want to go into a game being like we got a head coach that could outcoach the other side. Hasn't happened in a long ass time.
What would you think, Big Cat, if the Cowboys fired Mike McCarthy?
No. He does win games, but no, I can't. I've said too many things.
You've said a lot of things.
I've said way too many things.
That would be the funniest outcome.
For you.
For me, personally, yeah. Or Jason Garrett would be funny, too.
Season's over. They're not going to the playoffs, obviously. They might not even beat the Patriots next week because this is quit watch. This is full-on quit watch. And then they play everyone in the NFC North. We're going to get our teeth kicked in every single week.
We have a bet.
They play the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Do you have a mayor's bet between Big Cat and Hank?
No. This team makes me sick. No. Because they could have quit. I think that first half, end of first half, was a quit play. And I think this team I think they know deep down they have a shit head coach who's a loser. And once the team knows that, like I said, the defense was the last to know because he is a good defensive coach. But once the defense figures it out, it's over. It's over.
Whose line is it anyway for Patriots at Bears?
Oh, at Bears? Bears, they've got the longest home winning streak in the NFL.
I think we're probably 4.5 point favorites. Maybe 5.
I think Big Cat's right. I think it's somewhere in between 4 and 5.
Bears -7. You guys are good.
Wow.
Yeah, you're good.
Wow. I'm just so down on this team. I don't know what else to say. I'm so sad. I'm so stupid. And all the sickos and perverts are so happy that they get to see this.
But if the true sickos and perverts should know it, this is not the best way for this to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted it to be more perverse?
More.
No, I mean the true sickos.
Yeah, you wanted it to be really,
They
really
want
sick.
They
you
want
you
you to
are
be-
you speak for the sickos and
Yes,
perverts.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
You
So,
are
like-
you are number one
Like
sicko and pervert.
we needed you higher before you got this low.
Right, because I only got Jaguars 4 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. That was the peak. Hang the banner. Beat a terrible Jaguars team to go 4 and 2.
Like we needed games that maybe were for playoff spots.
I didn't
At the minimum.
But so I never
going into the season, it was like,
Yeah, but
are we going to go to the Super Bowl?
No,
Or are we gonna be, like, the wild card winners?
I might have said some crazy shit over summer, but I've been very clear. I even said last week and 2 weeks ago, I was like, if they don't go 4 and 1 in this stretch, which they didn't, there's no chance at the playoffs. So I knew this. Like the back half of the Bears' schedule is a gauntlet. We're not winning games against the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions. So that's revisionist. I think I said last week we're not going to the playoffs. When PFT said that
last week, obviously.
we were still 4 and 3.
Yeah, but I was talking about before the season.
Yeah, I know. You're right. Summertime, I do get crazy. I'm sorry that I care about football in the summer, unlike you, golf boy. That's a fact.
golf boy.
You
That
are.
is a fact.
You don't
I
even
do
know.
love golf.
You
And
wouldn't
I
even
don't
know
care
your
about
schedule.
football in the summer.
Yeah, that's my favorite
golf
time.
boy.
My favorite part of football season is August because I can get excited and the possibilities are endless.
Hard Knocks.
And I get fucking pumped up and I tell myself it's gonna be different, and then it's slowly the air comes out of the balloon as the year goes along, and then today it was popped.
We gotta get a good coach. Get you
Yeah.
a good coach.
Don't say we.
It's never gonna happen though. It's never
He's
gonna
speaking
happen.
for Chicago.
They don't.
He's a
They
resident.
will not hire a good coach. They will not do it.
I
They
actually
not-
do feel bad. Like
We had Bruce Arians in the fucking building, and we hired Matt or Mark Trestman instead of him. That's the Bears. That is exactly what the Bears organization does. Bruce Arians went on to win a shitload of games with the Cardinals and then a shitload of games with the Bucks, and we hired Mark Trestman.
I actually think that Robert Salah is going to be a good coach at his next stop.
That they'll hire Robert Salah. That will definitely be the coach they hire. 100%. They'll be like, yeah, he's fine. He's a great interview. He fucking coached defense. Ugh. Monsters of the Midway. 1985.
You know who was on that 1985 team?
Jeff Fisher.
Jeff Fisher. Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera as well, but Jeff Fisher as well. All right, anything else? Cardinals are good. I'm buying on the Cardinals stock.
I mean,
Credit to the Cardinals.
So the Cardinals, yes, there's a good chance that the Cardinals make the playoffs.
I think they're a pretty good team.
Yeah, 4 out of 5.
And I made fun of Jonathan Gannon. He's a good head coach. We got the wrong guy from the Colts staff. They told that story today. They're like, oh, yeah, Matt Eberflus's kids babysat. I almost said kidnapped. Babysat Jonathan Gannon's kids. So cute. We got the wrong guy. Again.
Would you recognize Jonathan Gannon in the street?
Yes. Pew, pew. Explosives, of course. I've watched that video 1,000 times.
What if he's wearing like a button up and like a vest?
I don't think he can go anywhere without saying pew, pew. It's just what he does. All right, here's a good thing. Here's one good thing that happened to me this weekend. The Lions beat the shit out of the Packers. And Jordan Love, so Lions 24, Packers 14. This is the only saving grace I had. The Packers also might be in trouble.
Jordan Love does not look healthy right now.
And he also loves throwing interceptions.
That one at the end of the first half was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know what he was thinking on that. It was dummy play. What did Jules call him? Doy plays?
Doy plays.
Yeah, Jordan Love's got a few doy plays in him every game, it seems like. He throws some of the funniest non-Jameis interceptions. But the Lions are just inevitable. You can't stop the Lions. You can't. They've got too many options, too many weapons. It's not like they lit the scoreboard on fire this week. They played good football. They played good offensive football, but they didn't throttle you like they have in weeks past.
I think they could have if they wanted to, but it was rainy weather, shitty weather, and they got up to a lead, and they're like, we got this. And they did a Dan Campbell where it's like the Packers chose to kick a field goal early in the game, and then the Lions, I think, scored 2 touchdowns on 4th and 1s.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. And it's Dan Campbell, the way he coaches, when they're going to go on 4th down. They're so smart with how they operate. Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell, like their 3rd down play sets up their 4th down play.
Because they already know.
Right.
They know when it's still 2nd down.
Right.
Like they're like, okay, here's what we do if we don't get this. We try to pick up some yards on 3rd down. Then we have an easy 4th down play.
It never feels like you get to a fourth down with the Lions and they're like on the sideline being like hemming and hawing, being like, I don't know if we should go. They knew what they were going to do before that.
One thing I've never seen them do is call the think it over timeout.
Right.
I hate the think it over timeout.
Yeah.
That's the worst timeout that you can have in the biz. Amon-Ra was great again today.
Yeah, he wore a Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt. I got to buy one of those.
The Green Bay Sucks sweatshirt, getting off the bus was pretty intense. Although I think he had Green Bay as one word, not 2, right?
Yeah.
Just pretty disrespectful to the city.
Yep.
And then Jared Goff proved he can win an outdoor game in bad weather.
Yeah.
That's huge. Huge for Jared's confidence.
Yeah, he was, and it was like the Packers moved the ball like pretty well. They just kept on shooting themselves in the foot with drop passes and penalties and all that stuff. And the Lions are a team that if you cause any like careless errors, they'll just punish you for it. I mean, you saw it with the pick 6. That was just a bad pass. And Kirby Joseph, I think that was his 6th interception this year. And the Lions are they're a wagon, and they're kind of running away with the NFC North, even though I know the Vikings only have 2 losses, but it feels like the Lions, I don't know how you stop the Lions.
Yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs is just so fast when he gets the ball. It's
so
crazy.
fast.
So they put up a stat I'd never seen before, but I actually thought was pretty interesting. They tracked the speed that every ball carrier runs at the line of scrimmage. So crossing the line of scrimmage, Jahmyr Gibbs is 2 miles per hour faster than the league average. So the league average is you're running 9 miles per hour when you hit the line. He goes like 11 miles per hour.
That's
when he gets
crazy.
there. And you can see he squirts through a lot of small holes.
Yeah.
At the line. They just the Lions offense is, I think, as close to unstoppable as you can get if they're all healthy.
And Jameson Williams has been his suspension is now over.
It might be, but then there was also a report that the cop in Detroit looked the other way when they saw a gun in the car.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it illegal to have a gun? I guess
I think some not registered. Yeah.
And not put away. It was not registered.
I think his brother might have been in the car, and his brother had a gun that was registered to him, but then there might have been another gun in the car.
Got it.
And the cop was like, "Oh yeah, you're Jameson Williams from the Lions," and his iPhone screensaver thing on his lock screen was like a big Lions logo.
Yeah.
And he showed it to me. He's like, "Look, I'm a big fan of yours." So now they're doing an investigation on that cop for whether or not he should have arrested Jameson Williams.
It's the Lions fan.
Yeah.
The Lions are 7-1. 7-1's first time since 1956.
What's the point of being a pro sports player if you're not going to get
Yeah, that's just
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a real, like a sports city that had recent success. They would know you got to look the other way.
Yeah.
Part of the deal.
Jordan Love is not healthy. I don't know why they played him this week when they have a bye week coming up, but it felt dangerous to play him in this weather.
There were a
and
couple.
He looked not healthy. I'm hoping. Look, I know Jordan Love's good. I'm just hoping that he just keeps throwing dumb interceptions because that's kind of all I have at this point.
Yeah, there were a couple steps that he made on that slick turf where it was like, this guy should not be out here trying to cut.
Yeah,
on that with like an injured groin.
And
then Malik Willis he's good.
Yeah,
he's good. Let him play.
And I know the Packers are not a bad team, but it did help me a little that they lost this game. The Packers are on a bye, and then the next game they play is the Bears. They'll kill us by 100, and I'll have to fucking deal with that, and that will suck really, really bad. But maybe Jordan Love will keep throwing interceptions at really bad times. That's basically all I've got.
Yeah, it's fun. That's fun to root for.
Yeah,
I don't think that the Detroit Lions necessarily need a pass rusher.
They still probably would want
I know
one.
Everyone's like they're going to get one.
Yeah,
but
I think at the end of think about it.
What I'm saying is I don't think that they're going to overpay for a pass rusher.
I agree with that. I think they're going to get someone because you do need at least an insurance plan, especially when it comes down to like a playoff football game. The margins are so thin that having a guy who can win a one-on-one battle in the fourth quarter can be the difference between going to the Super Bowl and not.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome if they got Max Crosby.
Yeah, I don't
They got
think he's
somebody
going
like that.
to.
They
Mark
just-
Davis loves him.
Apparently, they just reached out about him today or maybe yesterday.
Mark
So
Davis did say untouchable.
They're still thinking about
And
that.
Mark Davis might be the one guy that I think he might be just telling the truth
Yeah?
because he's like Mark Davis doesn't feel like he's playing like a game of poker.
You don't think he's a shrewd negotiator?
Yeah, and they're like, it's when it comes to it, it's just a business, and they don't take it personal. Like he's
taking it personally.
Yeah.
He's like Max Crosby is like a son to me. Yeah.
But
He's
then Tom
untouchable.
Brady might pick up the phone and make a call, be like, "Hey, you got to do this."
Yeah.
Speaking of Tom Brady in this game, he got mad because Brian Branch got ejected for that helmet-to-helmet hit. You remember that one? Seemed like a pretty dirty hit, pretty bad hit.
Yeah.
I like Brian Branch too, by the way. I think he's one of the most entertaining players in the secondary in the NFL right now. But he got ejected for that helmet-to-helmet hit, and then Brady started to say how that call makes no sense to eject him for it. Like, throw the flag, give it 15 yards, don't kick him out of the game. And then all the Twitter narcs out there, Mike Florio's of the world, various other aggregators out there, started pointing out that Tom Brady is technically not allowed to criticize officiating as an announcer.
Florio.
So what's the NFL going to do about that? It's funny because Tom Brady's got himself into a situation which is basically impossible, where he's not allowed to criticize the officiating as a analyst during a game.
Or talk to the teams beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
it
really
makes
nothing.
no sense.
Tom Brady's just hoping that nobody calls him out on it, and Florio's not one to keep his mouth shut about that.
Yeah. I also like Brian Branch got a double penalty.
Because he flipped the
He was
crowd
flipping off the crowd on the way out and got another penalty.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, the Lions they're the best team in the NFL. No, I'll say it. The Chiefs are undefeated, but the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the Chiefs haven't been winning like the Lions have been winning. I think that if the Chiefs played the Lions in the Super Bowl, would I take the Lions? No, because it's Patrick Mahomes and he would just figure out a way to do it. But like if they were playing next week, you would?
Yeah.
If they were playing next week, I would take the Lions.
Yeah, I think the Lions are definitely, without a doubt, the best team in the NFC, and I think you could make a great case they're the best team in football.
Yeah. Okay. Last two games. Max, Eagles 28, Jaguars 23. You guys almost blew this game.
Yep.
Also, you had two of the coolest plays ever. Saquon hurdling a guy backwards, and then Devontae Smith's touchdown in the end zone, which was incredible.
Yeah, those are both very high moments. They're a very good football team. Questionable coaching decisions up and down the board.
Tell us about them. Tell us about them. What were the most questionable?
Both of the 2-point conversions, I'm actually fine with.
Well, you got a penalty on one of them, right?
We got a penalty on both of them.
Yeah.
They were both at the one, which you just do that. Like you get a ball at the one, especially the tush push didn't look good today. We have a lot of linemen that are hurt.
It does feel like Sirianni fell in love with the idea that he discovered, where if you have like a timeout in your pocket during the first half and you line up to go for two, just try to get them to commit a penalty. And if they don't, then call a timeout and kick the extra point. If they do commit a penalty, then guess what? You get to run the 2-point conversion from the 1-yard line.
Yeah, no, he does love to do that. Whatever.
He also, I feel like you guys need a new 2-point play.
Yeah.
Like a variation off the tush push.
Well,
tush push.
He tried to do that.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, that's true.
The field goal at the end.
The field goal at the end made 0 sense. There were 3 options. It was 4th and 2, up 5, with I think it was just over the 2-minute.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 options. Go for it on 4th and 2, win the game, kick a punt, make Trevor Lawrence go the entire distance of the field, still up 1 score, or kick a field goal, a 57-yard field goal to make a 1-score game a 1-score game.
Mm-hmm. And give them a short field.
And give them a short field if you don't get it.
Yeah.
It's the same probability that he kicks that field goal that he does of picking up the 4th and 2. But the 4th and 2 wins the game, and the field goal makes a 1-score game a 1-score game.
Right.
It made no sense.
Yeah.
That decision made 0 sense.
The only really decision there is, no, you just go for it there.
Yeah.
I mean, you could punt it, but you just go for it. End the game.
But the punt is
field goal shouldn't even be an option.
The field goal should not be an option.
Correct.
The decision should be go for it or punt it.
Yeah.
The field goal makes 0 sense.
Yes, agreed.
But he won the game, and you got to give him credit. The team has looked a lot better coming off the bye.
Yep.
So he's got the guys in a position to win, but his in-game decision-making is every single week. It's just the same discussion of, like, he makes the wrong decision every single time. There just needs to be someone. Big Dom needs to be in his fucking ear after every 4th down and be like, are you sure that's what you want to do here, Nick? You sure this is what you want to do here, Nick?
Do you know what he needs? I've said that I need to create this software where when I put in my bets, it just reverses it for me without telling me. And I never can figure it out, but I just somehow just win all my bets because I'm just reversing it. He needs to say something into the headset and have it just automatically be reversed.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah,
So
where he thinks he's in control.
Connect directly to Big Dom,
Right.
and then he makes his final call, and then Big Dom changes it.
It's just a some software that just translates it so his voice comes in with saying the exact opposite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The players on the Eagles were fantastic today.
Yeah.
They were
Your first half was incredible.
Is AJ Brown okay?
To be determined.
That's very important.
To be determined.
That's very important.
Also, the scoop and score is one of the craziest things I've ever seen on a football field.
You mean
Yeah,
when Saquon just fell?
He got tackled and was down for 5 seconds, and they did a scoop and score.
So
they reviewed it and still gave them the touchdown.
Saquon gets tackled. He falls on the ground. The ground forces the ball out. The refs rule in real time that he has not been touched down. The Jaguars pick the ball up, return for a touchdown. Then they look at it like 5 times. It felt like the longest review ever.
Yeah.
And then they just ignored the fact that Saquon's foot got hit out from under him, which made him stumble forward into his lineman, fall down. And they didn't. Max, if they had fucked you guys over and you lost that game, you should have gone to drastic measures to protest that. Philadelphia should.
I wanted you to lose that game so bad to take heat off me. It would have been great.
It made no sense. Like we were watching it in the cave with no sound, and they kept showing the play, and we were like, oh okay, that's fine. That's just gonna. They're just gonna, and then the Jags just started kicking the extra point, and then I just started freaking out because I couldn't hear what was going on. So I was like, why are they kicking the extra point? Why are they kicking the extra point?
Did they do a pool report about it? Did the refs talk about the call? Because they have to answer for that, right?
Yeah. So did they ever answer to it, Max?
I think that they said because he hit the lineman, but that happens all the time.
Yeah, that was weird. It was very weird.
They just made up a rule in the middle of. I think they just fucked up, and then they were like, "Yeah, well, here's something." Like, that's what I think they did. They were like, "Here's something," but whatever. They won the game.
Max, I was rooting for the Jaguars to win that game because I just wanted to see you go absolutely nuclear.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you at your maddest.
Oh,
because
I was
of that
so
call.
Close.
You would have been so mad.
Stephen Shea was egging me on, and which is one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah. So like state of the union for the Eagles, they're 5-2, 6-2, 5-2, 6-2. Cowboys and Commanders coming up. I'll ask you this: if you go 2-0, are you thinking like we're the second best team in the NFC?
I'm thinking if we go
2-0 these next two.
If we go 2-0, I'm thinking there's no reason we can't beat the Lions.
Yeah,
I love that.
What if you go 0-2?
Then we're in big trouble.
Sirianni gone.
Yeah, I mean no, I don't want to. If they lost that game, Sirianni, the city of Philadelphia would have gone nuclear on Sirianni, and I would have probably done the same. He has got them playing much better football right now. The decision-making has to be better. The in-game decision-making has to be better.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
They're playing really hard, though.
Yeah.
The first half, I think the Jaguars had 1 first down in the first half.
Yeah, the defense was humming.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, still, even if you take away that, the defense didn't give up a lot of points, and even on that last drive, they were working on a short field, and then Nakobe Dean makes a huge play to win the game. So the defense made big plays when they needed to make big plays. The secondary has been awesome. which I haven't been able to say about the Eagles for a really long time.
Yeah, your guy from Toledo is awesome.
Quinion Mitchell is so good.
Good.
It's turning into he's a rookie and just he gets no targets. He had one. I think he had one target today the entire game.
Yeah,
the quarterbacks are just going away from him.
I got a question for you. Roback question.
Yep.
RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, Roback.com, promo code TAKE. My question for you, Max. Jalen Hurts. It's full. He's been awesome, right?
He's been awesome.
Yeah.
Since the bye, I think he has like 130 quarterback rating, 12 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Follow-up Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Use promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Do you think you wasted the Kelly Green jerseys on the Jaguars? Because I do.
Yeah, I said that before the game started.
All right. So that was a joke.
Yeah.
Like those jerseys are incredible.
Yeah.
Why wear them against the Jaguars?
I don't know. But counterpoint, that screenshot of Saquon lives forever, and it's so much sicker
Kelly
that it's in the
Green.
Kelly
Yeah,
Green.
good point.
That's
And
valid.
Devontae Smith's
Like,
catch.
yeah.
I didn't even know that it was possible to back hurdle a guy.
It's so dangerous. He
dangerous.
should not do that again.
No. But
If
it's so
anyone
cool that
lined
he
him
did
up
it.
perfectly, he just gets rocked.
It's like jumping over a car. It was crazy. Like he found himself. He didn't even think about it. He just found his feet in that position. He goes, I guess I'm jumping. And to go backwards over another dude, I've never seen that on
And the craziest part is the spin move before
just
that
about to
was
say that.
incredible.
No, it's going to be the least talked about spin move of all time. That was so sick.
So sick. Yeah, it was just an incredible highlight.
He's so good. He's like, I think it's fair to say that he's on the McCaffrey level of like he's a running back that can actually make a difference in your offense.
As long as he doesn't drop the
get
pass like the Falcons game.
Correct.
But yes, other than that, I agree. Saquon is he's you have to be ready for him. He is in that. It's McCaffrey, it's Bijan,
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry's different though, because Derrick Henry will just run over people and run past people. I'm saying McCaffrey, Saquon, Bijan, those three guys, if they're in space, you're fucked.
I think
if you're one-on-one in space.
Gibbs might be like that too.
Gibbs as well, yes. Yeah. Like those guys are so special that when you just get them in space, the defense can't do anything. You can't tackle them one-on-one. Yeah, he's been incredible this year. He's got, how many yards does Saquon have this year?
I think 960.
Holy shit.
So he's also
925.
and he already had his bye. So
already
he's
has
on.
bye.
He's on the
2K.
same as Derrick Henry 2K watch.
Yeah.
Who do you guys play last week of the season? The Giants?
That would be awesome.
Because I think it's Cowboys Commanders last. I think so. That would make it.
That would be awesome if Saquon. Oh,
Yeah, so it's
you got
Giants
2K
at Philly. If
against the
Saquon
Giants.
gets 2,000 yards against the Giants, that would be special.
Just got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
Pray for health. Pray for health.
yeah. Okay, good for you, Max. I'm happy you won. Not
you're
really.
not.
No,
No, you're
I'm
not.
not.
Yep.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It would have been great because it would have just been. It would have been a really good friend move
Yep.
for you to take some heat off me.
Sorry.
Because like PFT's team is awesome, your team is awesome, even Memes won, and then the one other guy who lost here just doesn't even give a fuck.
That's not true.
Well, he lost Marvin Harrison though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
He lost.
I was
Marvin
I was
Harrison.
more locked into my game than probably anyone was on anyone's game today.
You
To
were
the
locked into
game?
the football game.
To the game?
To
You were
Drake
locked
May.
in.
The
You were
game?
locked into the player.
Yeah. Yeah, the Marvin Harrison thing. I'm sorry, Hank.
It's all right.
That was tough. All right. Rams 26, Seahawks 20 to wrap it up. This one team had Geno Smith and one team had Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Geno Smith with a couple bad picks. He had a great drive to end the game to tie it up.
Yeah. What is it with the Seahawks? And I don't know if this is because this is one thing that, we obviously are watching all the games, but every single week, without fail, you look up and the Seahawks' entire team is chasing after a snap that's gone over Geno Smith's head or through his hands. What is that?
The rain.
Every week, though.
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely
It
strange.
happened twice this week, I want to say.
This is a big win for the Rams.
Huge.
Puka Nacua getting ejected in the first half, and
For nothing.
We talked about like Puka Nacua is the funnest guy to watch without the ball in his hand sometimes. Yeah, sometimes he like throws a little baby punch and the refs were staring too closely at him.
He was not the instigator in that.
Yeah, he got shoved and then he did like, I don't think it was a punch. I think it was one of those open-handed face shoves.
Crazy ejection.
Which is, that's if you're going to tell your player to hit somebody in the face, you want them to do the open-handed one and not the fist.
Yeah.
It's smarter to go open-handed.
I guess the one good thing is like he couldn't get banged up.
Yep. Yeah, he was safe.
room.
They put him in preservative for this game.
Yeah.
Gino had some bad picks today.
And Matthew Stafford's overtime was it was perfect football.
Yeah.
He played perfect football in the overtime. And the Rams, like, they looked deader than dead at halftime. What?
Well, the Seahawks could have kicked a field goal in overtime to take a lead and went for it on fourth down.
But it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't have that much of a problem with that because if you kick a field goal,
it wouldn't matter because they scored a touchdown, but still.
But they would have lost no matter what.
Yeah, I just think it was. I didn't like that move.
I have no problem with that move. I guess you could make the argument that the Seahawks offensive line has not been great, so it's like maybe getting 1 yard is not the easiest. But yeah, I mean, you can end the game with a touchdown, right?
And it was what, 4th and 2?
It's 4th and 1.
4th and 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them going for it. It was like, 50-50 coin flip to kick a field goal. I could see a lot of coaches kicking that field goal, but
I just don't think you want to
mind it. Go for it.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball to Matthew Stafford. He's going to go score a touchdown.
Trust your defense.
Yeah, but it's Matthew Stafford, and he's really fucking good. I would like to try to end the game without giving the ball back to Matthew Stafford. And that was the way you could do it. Otherwise, you're just hoping he doesn't score a touchdown, which he then did no matter what. Personally.
Also, your defense isn't particularly great.
Jackson Smith-Njigba was awesome.
He was, yeah. Would he have like 150?
He made just every big catch, and then Cooper Kupp had 11 catches. But yeah, the Rams. I'm worried about my pinky. The Rams. Matthew Stafford gives you a chance in any game.
Yeah, they unlocked DeMarcus Robinson.
Yep.
The Rams do next man up at wide receiver better than anybody.
It's a combo of coaching and Matthew Stafford.
Yeah,
where it's just like those guys. If you put those guys on any other team, I don't think they'd be nearly as good, but because they're schemed open by Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford's throwing them the ball, they played to the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rams are now very much, I mean, it was 2 weeks ago that they were basically deader than dead, and they beat the Vikings, they beat the Seahawks, and now they're 4-4 and in second place in the NFC West. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, let's see what's the Rams schedule coming up.
They played the Dolphins, the Patriots, so that's going to be probably 6-4. I'm going to be nervous about this. Oh my God, they have the Saints still. They do have a tough end of the season. They play at the end of the season. They play the Bills, 49ers, Jets, Cardinals, Seahawks. That could be tough.
All potential playoff teams.
All potential playoff teams, right, Memes?
Correct.
Did you, Memes, today, without your team playing because they played on Thursday, did you think that you got, like, did you win today?
No.
Oh.
We didn't because the Chargers.
Chargers. Yeah, but what about the Colts and the Broncos? Colts and Broncos both lost.
Yeah, that was a win.
That's big.
That was big.
Yeah. Those, you can't think about the Chargers. You got to think about, you had three teams that or the Bengals, I guess, won too, so that's bad.
But I have looked into it.
Okay.
The Broncos have a gauntlet. The Steelers also have a gauntlet.
Steelers have the hardest
You
schedule.
have to stop thinking Steelers.
Yeah, don't think about the Steelers.
He keeps saying Steelers back here. The Steelers are 6-2.
Well, all the AFC North teams have to play each other still,
Right.
and that's gonna eliminate. That's gonna get some losses there.
Right.
Two of them.
I mean, we're not gonna win.
You're not going to catch. I don't think you're going to catch the Steelers.
They could just fall off a cliff.
Yeah, but you would have to climb an even bigger cliff.
We might never lose a game again.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
I
like
you
it,
play
Memes.
the Cardinals next week. The Cardinals are hot.
They could look ahead past us.
They could look ahead past you.
Playing
the-
3-6 Jets team. They
that's
just
the
won
beauty.
4 out of 5.
That's the beauty of playing possum memes. They think that you're dead.
I'm looking at it right now. Memes might not be wrong. Because if the Bills in week 17 have it all the way wrapped up, they might already be sitting starters.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, all the playoff probabilities on this website is a joke.
The Vikings did win. It felt like they were sleepwalking the start of the game, but their defense looked back because they held the Colts. The Colts did not get into the end zone on offense.
Right, they had that fumble in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, not a lot. I'll be honest, I didn't watch most of this game because we were podcasting while it was going on after halftime. Up until halftime, I was thoroughly unimpressed with both teams.
Yes, but I'll say this. Sam Darnold started bad. I think he played very well in the second half, and his numbers ended up looking pretty good, and he was finding Justin Jefferson, and the Sam Darnold might be a pumpkin. We can put that off for a week.
Well, every time I looked up, Justin Jefferson was making a catch downfield. That's a good strategy if you feel like you're turning into a pumpkin. Just remember, I've got maybe the best receiver.
Yeah, he had 137 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we wrap up with who's back of the week? I think we got a couple stories we got to talk about with Max too.
Yeah.
Who's back of the week's brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. No matter what happens between your favorite rivals this week, you've got a chance to win. Just go to the PMT Instagram. Tell us how you prepare for a rivalry game with Coors Light for an opportunity to win the Coors Light rivalry shirt. 5 winners will be selected every Saturday until December 7th. So remember, when rivalries get a little overheated, choose chill and keep things cool by reaching for the Mountain Cold refreshment of Coors Light. Coors Light's Mountain Cold refreshment literally made to chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, cold package. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. Even the biggest rivals agree when it's time to cool things down and enjoy the game. You choose chill and then reach for Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/take, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. That's CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Henry, who's back of the week?
My who's back of the week is dead animals.
Oh, yes. We got to get on this.
Yeah, so this is the problem. So there was a TikToker in New York who found an injured squirrel.
Peanut.
Named him Peanut. He took him in. He brought him back to full health.
It's an adorable name.
And then, by that
great squirrel.
That point, it had been domesticated. So if you let him back out in the wild, they're just going to die. So he just kept him in his apartment, posted videos and stuff. Some hater reported the accounts to the authorities, and the authorities showed up to his house unannounced, like with a warrant and stuff, took the squirrel, took a bunch of documents, and then euthanized Peanut the squirrel.
How?
Memes has his hand up.
And Fred the raccoon.
And Fred the raccoon.
Don't forget about Fred the raccoon. I was saying earlier that raccoons have a terrible, terrible PR team because they're like the cutest animal ever, and everyone treats them like they are actual garbage.
Well, it's rabies.
Yeah, it's rabies.
Rabies is what kills the cuteness of raccoons.
But they're so cute.
I agree.
But that's the bad PR getting into your head that the first thing you think of when you think of raccoons is rabies, when you should be just thinking, oh, they're adorable little animals.
I think of Rocky.
Yeah.
I think of that old guy YouTube video in the snow just feeding the raccoons.
Yeah. They're your best friends.
Hank, how? How can you go into someone's house and kill their animals?
They confiscated the animal and they just said, we're going to kill this animal?
They confiscated it, and then in order to, I guess, to check if it had rabies, they had to euthanize it.
So
that is true. It's the most ass-backwards part about checking to see.
Is that like the Salem witch trial?
Yeah.
Like we got to throw them in the water, and if they come up, then they're a witch?
Like being accused of having rabies as an animal is more deadly than having rabies.
Yeah.
It's 100% death rate.
All right, so here's why I asked how is because I saw this story, and I was like, there's got to be something I'm missing. Because otherwise, this is the biggest tragedy, travesty of all time.
I think it's just a Karen hater. Like the guy.
So this woman is the worst.
Like the guy has a TikTok account and posts the video. So someone with a stick up their ass was like, "This can't be allowed." Like,
oh my God, this is the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Is his neighbor? Do they also have a TikTok account?
It might not be a neighbor. It might just be a follower that It could be anyone.
Oh, it could be somebody online that saw the video and they're like, I'm going to report you. They swatted a squirrel.
Pretty much.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. So I hate this woman. I I think I saw a picture. They doxed her.
I didn't see that part. I just saw that it was an anonymous reporter.
All right, so whoever this person is, you should get rabies.
Somebody should call the Department of Animal Services on you.
Yeah. This is crazy. So justice for Peanut.
And
Man,
Fred.
I feel bad. And Fred. I forgot about Fred. Damn. And who was the guy?
Mr. Longo.
He just, did he have kids or anything? Was he like, could they make the argument that the squirrel was endangering the kids? Like what? I just can't understand this.
Officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal after they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status.
Jesus Christ. This is horrendous. Justice for Peanut. If we have to make a shirt and profit off it to get the word out there, we will.
They got a search warrant for departments, and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon, and they took them and killed them.
I don't want to say that we've got bigger problems as a nation, but if you are spending your time writing up a search warrant for a squirrel, you should be called a pussy by that judge.
Yeah. All right, so we gotta get on this case. I don't know, I mean, we're late to it, but we gotta do everything we can, and by everything we can, I mean I'm just gonna tweet out justice for Peanut.
Yeah, like
It won't bring Peanut
they're
back.
dead. The
Big Cat.
animals are dead.
What?
Plot twist.
Oh.
Peanut was a Yankees fan.
Oh.
There's a picture I'm looking at right now of Peanut wearing a Yankees cap.
Do you think there's a chance that Peanut asked to be killed? Peanut was like,
Yeah.
take me out.
Yeah.
I can't watch this bum Aaron Judge strike out at the plate anymore.
It's a
Fucking end it
Let me
right
call
now.
the feds.
It's-
I'll
a
call the feds on
possibility.
myself. I want to memes myself.
Yeah. There's this adorable little squirrel. He's waiting by the front door for you. Go pick him up.
When was Peanut killed? Before or after the Yankees lost?
I
Did
think-
Peanut have to watch that fifth inning?
I think it was on Thursday night.
Oh my God, Peanut! That's the last Yankees game.
Let me
Peanut
see.
watched
I'm
was that
looking this
fifth
up right
inning.
now.
Oh my God, this is now the ultimate tragedy.
That is animal cruelty. If you have a pet and you force it to be a Yankees fan.
Yeah.
I guess we have to wait for all the facts to come
At
out.
least Peanut
it
didn't
was on
see-
Wednesday. So it was before.
So Peanut didn't see the fifth inning.
He did not see the
Oh,
fifth inning.
thank God.
It-
So
it's
Peanut
a
actually
good thing,
died not knowing who won the World Series.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. And didn't know that Dak got hurt.
The last memory that Peanut had was the Capo Bianco brothers.
Which I'm sure Peanut was a big fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Damn, that's depressing. Okay, who's
Hank,
back?
anything else?
I like your pants.
Thanks. They're velour.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, are they velour?
Did
Okay.
you buy him?
Why'd you say that in a way that I'm missing something?
I don't think
What?
you are missing anything.
Yeah. I was wondering if you bought them or if they were stolen velour.
It came off the back of a truck.
I've had these for a long time.
PFT, your Who's Back of the Week.
My Who's Back of the Week is college basketball.
Yeah.
College hoops tonight. Big slate tonight.
Yeah.
We got, I think, almost every ranked team is playing, right?
A lot of them are, yeah.
A lot of them are. The big one's going to be Baylor Gonzaga late night. But yes, college basketball is back big time. Maine and Duke, the Cooper Flag game.
Wow.
It's going to be bad blood out there. It's good to have different sports on.
Oh, I mean, college basketball. The college basketball feast week is one of my favorite weeks of the year. And I lose everything, but I love it. All right, my Who's Back of the Week is Philadelphia sports figures getting into fights.
With various people.
So we had two. And I actually think, as a podcast, I think we take the side of both the Philadelphia sports figures.
Yeah.
I think one's definitely cut and dry. The Kelce one. So if people missed it, there was was he at the Penn State game?
Penn State game, correct.
Yeah, he was just. Why doesn't Jason? I guess he doesn't need security, but also why was he walking with like beers in his hand? Like, he's just a man of the people.
All right, so the thought occurred to me after, I'd say, like 6 hours of just heavy discourse online about Jason Kelce. You had some people saying, like, most people, I'd say 95% of people were like, Jason Kelce did nothing wrong.
Yeah,
Let the man go ahead.
So to set the scene, he was walking, and there was a Penn State fan or a kid walking with his phone out, being a piece of shit, and he was like, your brother is a F-bomb for dating Taylor Swift. And Jason Kelce turned around, grabbed his phone, smashed it through the crust of the earth. Awesome spike. And then there was another clip after that he walked off with the phone, and the kid was like, give me my phone back, give me my phone back. And Jason Kelce said, who's the F word now? Which, again, I have no that guy brought the F word into it.
Yeah, fair play.
He wasn't saying it's derogatory. He was just saying, like, you brought this into this. Why would you be such a loser to like make fun of my brother and stick a phone in my face? So I stand with Jason Kelce.
Yeah, I think he was in the right. The guy had the phone and he was like screaming at him and very clearly like harassing him and foaming around.
So what was the thought that occurred?
The thought that occurred to me was there any chance that was a viral ad for Garage Beer that just got way out of hand?
Oh, maybe.
The Garage Beer was prominently featured in every angle of every video that I saw.
Interesting.
And maybe it got out of hand and somebody posted it and then it was like, oh shit.
Oh.
We've really lost the narrative on this one.
Oh.
Because he was holding the case, and I mean this is I tweeted this out, but the first thing I noticed was him holding the case of beer with like his pinky finger and then also holding a beer in that same hand, which is not a guy that you want to fuck with. A guy that's just walking around casually, drinking out of his 12-ounce can while also raising the entire case up to his mouth to drink.
Yeah.
That's probably a guy that can kick a lot of ass. But yeah, the beer was prominently displayed in all angles. I don't think it was fake, but I'm very woke when it comes to stuff like that, where it's like we've seen a lot of stuff online.
It was yeah. I mean, I was just confused why Jason Kelce was walking by himself in that situation. Like, not again. I get he's a man of the people. What Hank?
I think it's that crazy. We walk through.
I guess so.
Crowds and,
yeah,
and tailgates. And,
maybe he has security. He doesn't need security. This kid was a piece of shit. There's no other way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Kid was a piece of shit. Jason Kelce was in the right. Also, Jason Kelce's just like not someone you want to fuck with.
Yeah.
In general.
I think he's just a pretty normal dude.
Yeah, who just wants to be left alone
and drink beer.
Yeah,
so respect to him. I did see people being like, "Do you not know what the First Amendment is?" The First Amendment, like Jason Kelce, it doesn't protect you from Jason Kelce smashing your phone.
Yeah, and you deserve your phone
face.
Yeah. So Max, you're good with all this?
Yeah, of course. The other funniest part is that the guy like tried to fake step to him for maybe a half of a second.
Yeah,
he was like, "This is a really bad idea. This is like one of like the worst people on the planet that like you should be trying to start anything with."
Correct.
Kelce.
Hey, Kelce. How does it feel your brother's a f***ing Taylor Swift?
Kelce, can I get a fist bump? Kelce, can I get a fist bump?
Jason Kelce should be commended for not beating the fuck out of this guy.
Yes, for sure.
Showing
like, could you
restraint.
imagine? Like, he's literally just in his face saying that about his brother for the worst reasoning of all time. By the way,
right?
That his brother dates one of like the most beautiful supermodel or pop stars in the world.
She's one of the most popular pop stars in the world.
Okay.
She is.
We don't want to make comments about her looks.
I don't want to talk about her looks.
Let's not reduce
I don't see looks.
Okay.
We don't see sight. I don't see looks. I don't see
gross revenue ticket sales.
Yeah.
And she's
I don't boil down Taylor Swift to looks like you.
Also, Max, by saying she's one of the most beautiful pop stars in the world, that's going to have Taylor Swift fans mad at you. One, for commenting on her looks. Two, for not saying the most beautiful pop star.
Whereas me, a guy like me, I don't see looks.
All right. Disavow my comment.
Okay, thank you.
I admire her brains.
Yep, me too.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one was Joel Embiid shoved a reporter. Now this one, you could make an argument against Joel Embiid, but I am not, because I am on Joel Embiid's side. This reporter, Marcus Hayes, wrote an article basically calling Joel Embiid. So this is what he said. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son, Arthur, as a major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up for work, and then goes on to talk about how he hasn't played and all that stuff. This guy's a piece of shit, because you can write an article about Joel Embiid not playing, load management, being injured, and never bring up his son or his dead brother.
Yeah, you can. So the second part of that, saying in order to be great at your job, you have to show up for work. You can just take all the context of the family out of it. And
Correct.
Joel Embiid wants to be great at he says he wants to be great at basketball. To be great, you have to show up for. You can do that and do the hot take column where you're like, Joel Embiid is soft for not playing more. He's disappointing the city. You can say all that stuff, but then to just tie it into your family. And I haven't seen the video of Joel. Is there video of Joel?
How is there not video?
There's definitely video.
Somebody's
that
got
no
one.
one
What's
has
his
released.
name's? What's his name? TikToks.
Huh?
What's his name's TikToks?
Oh,
No,
Jared McCain.
Jared McCain was definitely doing a TikTok.
I don't think.
He was probably
don't think
dancing
Jared
with Joel Embiid, shoving someone in the background.
No, I find it very hard to believe that there's no video, but I think that everyone outside of Marcus Hayes is on Joel Embiid's side of this in the locker room. So I'm pretty confident that everyone just was like, hey, let's not release this because this guy deserves it.
The argument against Joel Embiid here is like you just shouldn't shove a reporter. But again, I'm not going to make that argument because this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
you don't have to bring up Joel Embiid's family.
Also, fuck Keith Pompey for initially saying that he punched him.
Is a punch,
a shove and a punch.
Well, that's what makes
completely different.
That's what makes me think it was like maybe closer to a punch than it was. That's why I want to see the video.
No, but there's a lot of people that were also in there that says that it was like barely a shove.
Well, they could just put the video out and put this case to rest. No,
I don't have the video.
We need the video.
I got to see the video.
DM Jared McCain.
but wouldn't you agree that them not putting the video out leads to the conclusion that
That it
it's
was
probably
worse.
more likely worse than just a shove?
No, I think it was a light shove.
Now, I will say that Marcus Hayes could get me back on his side if he shows up to the next press conference with a neck brace on. That would be funny. Mm-hmm. That would be funny.
I just know that when Hank says, "Wouldn't you say?" It's about to be a fucking banger after that. That's when Hank's deep in his bag of
wouldn't
troll
you
shit.
say?
Wouldn't you agree that?
Wouldn't you say? We need to see the video, and we are on Joel Embiid's side.
Yeah, I think if he like shoved him and it wasn't anything particularly violent, like there was no chance of him getting injured. If it was just like a shove, like "fuck you, buddy," if it was one of those, that's well within his rights.
It was a big weekend for Philly sports stars, following up like talk shit, get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those are like our two guys.
Yeah, and like I have no problem with either because these guys are talking massive amounts of shit for no reason, just being shitty people.
And Joel Embiid's backed it up. Everything he's done for the city, he deserves a break.
Max?
Yeah, I agree.
Everything?
Agree. Yes.
And what exactly has he done for the city?
He puts his body on the line and plays.
Load, man. Not if
Nope.
Jokic.
In the playoffs.
Not if it's Jokic in Denver.
In the playoffs, the whole Jokic in Denver. Joel Embiid fucking eats Jokic for lunch.
Not in
every time
Denver.
they play.
Not in Denver.
The fact that people like nitpick that just because it's not on the road,
Ducked him.
like their numbers, like Embiid dominates.
Not
him.
in Denver?
Yeah, that's what the people. All the fucking Embiid haters, which there are plentiful, love to nitpick every little thing and find one whatever.
So what does he answer Hank's
What
question?
is Jokic done in Philly? How about that? How about that question?
What? No, the question.
How about that question?
The question was, what has Embiid done for Philly?
He's probably won a couple games. He's probably gone out to eat.
He's made the Philadelphia
on the road.
He's made the Philadephia 76ers a relevant basketball program.
You say irrelevant?
A relevant basketball program that when he joined, yes. I always say program. You always get on me for
Yeah,
because I say every team's a program.
Okay.
The 76ers, a relevant basketball program.
A relevant basketball program when they came from the bottom of the league.
By choice.
UPFD
You're right. By choice.
would love to be.
But by choice,
Yes.
they did the process.
I don't give a fuck. Every team does a process now.
How many teams
Every
in the
fucking team does a
NBA
process.
since 2013 do you think have made like the second round of the playoffs? Probably
It doesn't
more than
matter,
half.
but they're still like in the top half of the
Wizards
league
have.
every year.
Where's
Wizards have?
relevancy?
They've made the second round.
Yeah.
So
What's-
same spot.
What's relevant?
Kyle
Is
Kuzma.
relevancy the second round?
I mean, they
Or
won
is it the
won
third?
7 games with the Celtics.
That's
True.
relevant.
Yes,
Relevancy?
I mean it's still like you're still contending. They're not like
For what?
good contenders. And Joel Embiid gets hurt every fucking year. Fuck you guys. I'm done
They
with it.
actually had a 3-2 lead in that series too.
He took off his
Game 6 at
headphones.
home.
I just want to know where relevancy is. Is it
It's definitely not the fucking Bulls.
I know it's not. I never claimed they were.
I would say that we probably talked about the Sixers the second most of all NBA.
All right, and I'm not
on this
even
podcast.
trolling. I'm just generally curious.
Shut the fuck up. You're not trolling, you pussy. Of course you're trolling. Well, that's the only thing you fucking do on that couch.
When he says, I've done so much for the city, you think Philly fans are thinking, yeah, you know what, Joel, you have.
No, property taxes. He probably pays
He's just
a lot.
saying he has done so much because he gets hurt every fucking year in the playoffs, and he plays hurt every fucking year, and I'm sure it's not good on his body long term. That's what he's saying.
Got it.
He's a unicorn of a human that should not be playing as much basketball as he is, and he does it. I mean, and he's probably not going to be able to walk in 20 years because of it. So that's what he does for the city.
But he doesn't
That's
have
a
to play
little
that
dramatic.
much basketball because it's only...
Yeah, well, now he's not doing it so that he can play in the playoffs and be healthy.
Right, but he doesn't have to play that much in the
What if you
playoffs
guys don't
either.
make the playoffs?
Right.
We
and-
do make. What do you mean we don't make the playoffs?
said,
When
what
was the
if-
last time we didn't make the playoffs, Hank?
What if?
Tell me the last time we didn't make the playoffs.
Well, I didn't ask that. I said, what
He
if?
said, what if?
I can also barely hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
'cause I
you took off
my
your headphones. He
off.
said, what if you don't make the playoffs?
They're gonna make the playoffs.
What's the record?
Paul George is playing
If the
tonight.
PFT, you look it up. If the playoffs started today, would they make the playoffs?
Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
They're 1-4.
So they wouldn't make.
1-4. What are we gonna do? 5 games into the season.
Well, it's gonna be 1-5 because you're gonna lose to the Suns tonight.
Paul George is playing.
What's interesting is they are in second to last in the East. The Wizards would make the playoffs if they start tomorrow.
Congrats, hang a banner.
Oh, wow.
5 games into the season, the Washington
the
Wizards make the
Bulls would be
playoffs.
the Bulls would be the 5th seed.
Wow.
Congrats.
Pretty crazy.
Any more questions?
I just was wondering, like, he puts his body on the line, but he doesn't have to play that many playoff games.
He also gets paid like $1 gazillion.
And he doesn't have to play that many playoff games. At max, he has to play 14 playoff games. Right?
We're done with this.
He does.
Am I right,
You've
Hank?
said your piece.
Am I right?
Puts his body on the line
Well,
for the city.
he put his body on the line for the MVP, and then he just stopped playing after that.
That's not incorrect.
It's like Joel Embiid and Cops both put their lives on the line for the city of Philadelphia. Thank
And
you
he
for
also
your
doesn't put his
service.
body on the line in Denver.
USA though, that was cool. It was nice that his body was available to be on the line in the summer.
Yeah, it was nice for
the
Jason
team.
Tatum to sit
He
that nose out.
actually could have. It would have been more apt for him to say, "I've done so much for this country,"
Yeah.
because he's won something for
Gold
this
medal.
country.
He's done just as much for me as he has for you, Max.
More.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, good show, boys.
But again, we stand by Joel Embiid and pushing that guy.
We 100% stand by Joel Embiid. I don't know how we got here.
I want that to be very clear.
Yes, and Kelce. We stand by both those guys.
Also, the guy that maybe I'm being too woke about this. You know, the guy that was talking shit to Kelce, hoodie, sunglasses, cap pulled real low. I'm just saying, what if it was a big viral ad?
I feel like they would have
the
used
most
a
ambitious
different
and it
word.
got out of- yeah,
ambitious,
but it got out of
ambitious
hand.
ad to be like just drop the F slur,
Yeah.
but
Also, it would have been.
It would have worked.
It would have
Yeah,
been a
it
great
worked.
ad.
It worked. It was the talk of. Also, it could have also been a plant by James Franklin to
Yep.
be like, "Hey, can you get this video viral so no one can talk about me not beating Ohio State for the millionth year in a row?"
I think that was before the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he knew.
But he knew.
Yeah,
He did know. He
we
did
are.
know. What was that?
That's Penn State fans. That's
We
what they
are.
say.
Numbers 3.
5,
Let's go 21.
4.
11.
Oh, jeez. Hank just took Shane's number.
Did Hank say 21?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
took 21.
So it's troll shit.
It's Embiid's number. I wasn't.
I'm taking 21 for a year, man.
You don't own a number.
15.
Facts.
Pug?
99 pug.
49. 49.
Love you guys.
Shout out Fred.